It's time for the Miller's Edge with New York Giants legend and South Carolina Hall of Famer Corey Miller and his son, four-time SEC champion and two-time national champion Christian Miller.
And knocked down again. It was Christian Miller.
Here is college football playoff national champion Christian Miller on Tide 100.9 and 12:30 a.m. WTBC.
And welcome into this Monday edition of the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC, presented by the Good Feet Store, America's arch support experts. Hope you guys are doing okay. I say okay, Reed, Chase, because obviously you guys probably weren't doing great Saturday, but then Sunday comes around, and with the news of the playoffs and all that stuff, us getting in there, hopefully you guys are doing a little bit better, and hopefully you guys are doing solid on this Monday, new week. Fresh new week to get into things. And well, I'm excited, right? Because we got a lot of exciting stuff lined up, and I can't wait to share it with you. I'll do that with you guys in just a few minutes. But first, let me get a couple things out the way. We can't call it a victory Monday. We're not going to do that, not even close. I mean, I don't even think we could even sniff saying that, because you talk about a beat down. That's what we got. We got a beat down this weekend, man. And I shouldn't laugh because it's not funny, but I'm just saying, I mean, that was an old-fashioned beat down. Through and through, right? So it is what it is. You got to give it to them. Georgia played a good game. We did not. We did not show up ready to play. I thought we looked a little outside of the defense. I just thought we didn't look ready for it. I was a little, concerned, wondering how we showed up to this game, knowing the injuries we had, knowing the big field that we were playing on, and unfortunately, we did not get the job done. That said, we still found ourselves in the playoffs. A lot of conversations about that. A lot of people have a lot of opinions, right? There's pundits, former players, everybody's chiming in. We haven't got to discuss that yet here on the Miller's Edge, so we're going to do just that. I'm looking forward to it. We'll talk about the SEC Championship. We're definitely, without a doubt, going to talk about what happened in Saturday's game. We'll break it down. Plus, we'll talk about, the playoff picture, my thoughts. Did I think, all the moves were the right moves? Because, I mean, there's a couple teams left out. You got JMU in there. We're going to dive into all this stuff coming up here in a minute, so make sure you guys are buckled up, because there's going to be plenty to talk about. We want to talk about it with you too. 205-342-9904 is the number to the program. And, hey, listen, Reed, Chase, I want to give you guys credit. You guys did predict, right? And a lot of people, we left on that note. I know people were like, what in the world? You guys predicted Georgia would walk away with the dub. I want to give you guys credit. Hey, listen, we're ball knowers on this show, right? The producers on this show are ball knowers. They predicted that. Not that it's we didn't want to brag about that, but I want to give my guys credit. And to be fair, listen, I'm not going to take credit because I didn't pick Georgia to win. I can't do that, right? You guys would flame me if I did that, but that's why I kind of did, hint at, hey, I would not be shocked if Georgia won. That was kind of my way of kind of sneaking in there. Hey, I'm low-key kind of thinking Georgia could win that football game. And we'll talk about why that happened here in a minute. But real quick, let me tell you about some of the news that I do have for you guys. We're turning up the heat on this show, right? It's getting cold outside, so we got to turn up the heat, right? We're going to get even more fun, exciting on this show, get more people involved, get more people on the conversations. Me and Slade came on here after the game. We chopped it up a little bit about what happened. You'll keep hearing from Slade. I talked to TB last night. TB's going to jump back on here soon. But tomorrow we got a jam-packed day. It's a Talking Tuesday, right? So we like to talk a lot. We're going to do just that. We've got Clint Lamb lined up like we always have on Tuesdays. That's good. But we're also going to be joined by Chris Lowe, right, formerly of ESPN, now with On3. I know Chris really well. I've known him for a while. Chris is a great guy, man. He's going to join us, man. We're going to talk everything, Alabama, college football playoffs, all that. And tomorrow as well, I might even have to rearrange a little bit because I want to make sure we have plenty of time, ample time with everybody. But also, as of now, we've even got y'all's guy, Brooks Austin, the film guy, lined up for tomorrow. So tomorrow, you talk about a Talking Tuesday. It's an all-star lineup Talking Tuesday. We got Chris Lowe, we got Clint Lamb, and we've got Brooks Austin, the film guy of the Film Guy Network tomorrow. So we're going to do plenty of talking myself, Reed, Chase, you guys on the phone lines today. Then tomorrow, man, we're lining up with guests. So make sure you guys, only thing we ask, man, is we keep picking up the heat for you guys here, man. Just drop a like on the YouTube stream. You know what I mean? Any type of ratings, all that stuff. Always, man. Drop those ratings, all that good stuff. That always helps us out. That's all we ask, man. And we'll keep bringing heat for you guys in the near future because we got plenty of stuff to dive into. Ricky said, in other words, don't call in tomorrow. No, I'm not saying that. If we can squeeze a couple minutes, we definitely will do that. But we will be jam-packed with guests, which is a good thing because you guys like when we chop it up with other people. So, yeah, that's what we plan on doing. Let's do this. Let's hit a timeout. That way we can come back. We can dive into this breakdown. I've got plenty to talk about with this SEC Championship game. If you guys jumped on here with us, me and Slade, if you listen to me on the post-game show, you probably already have an idea of my thoughts, but don't worry. I've watched a little bit more. I'm going to go back and I'm going to come here now. I'm going to give you guys my thoughts and breakdown on what happened. Why the hell Alabama got their ass beat in the SEC Championship game. I'll tell you why, or at least why I think it happened or what did happen when we come back. Plus, we'll dive into the playoff picture. Alabama, as you guys know, in the playoff scene, rematch, maybe. Sweet revenge, right? Traveling to Norman, Oklahoma, December 19th. I saw Jim Nagy, who is their general manager. He posted something. I know Jim really well, man. Great friend. Maybe we'll try to get him on the show, which he's come on here before, but before he was a general manager. I don't know if he still would be down to do that now. He's with them. But he posted a picture. There's some snow in Norman. So who knows, man? Could be a snowy day. Could make for a really interesting first-round matchup. But we'll talk about all that and more coming up right here on the Miller's Edge. Don't go anywhere. Quick timeout. We'll be right back.
Tuscaloosa Mazda, they
guys?
are expanding
drop the
their
little highlight
showroom to
thing I
serve
made
you
real
better.
quick so I
Come see
can
their new and pre-owned
this
Mazda
dog so he'll
lineup.
stop barking.
Even Fikes
All
to
right, that's good enough.
we can help
Give me
you.
plenty of time. Sorry. Got an old dog, man. Sometimes he's a little I don't even know how you explain it, man. He's an interesting dog, man. Snow, yeah, man. Let me see if I can find a picture real quick. What's up, guys? Who's in here, man? What's up, everybody? Let's see. Jake, what's up? Arthur, Phil. Is that Wiggin? Is that new? I don't know if we've seen Wiggin in here. Welcome in. Talking Tide, what's going on, man? A lot happened since we all last spoke. Yeah, man. Y'all, let me know. Go ahead, man. I know I haven't really gave my breakdown yet, but let me know, man. What are y'all thoughts, man? What was going through y'all's heads during and post SEC championship game? We'll dive into the playoffs in a little bit, but let's start with the SEC championship game. We got to get that out the way. We got to wipe our hands of it. I know it's a little bit ugly, but we got to get out the way. No complaints about AK. I do. He had a bust. Dude went the whole wrong way. I'm kidding. I'm not kidding about that. That did happen, but nobody's complaining about it. Is what it is. That's not why we lost, but I think people understand now, man. Like, it's not as simple as, hey, just throw the 5-star in there, man. Nah, it ain't that easy, especially in that moment, at least. Got our asses kicked. You just got to laugh it off and move on. I mean, there's no other way to put it, man. And listen, if you guys get upset of us being honest here, I'm gonna go ahead and warn you. I'm just not warning you. I'm just tell you, we're honest on this show. So I mean, if using stuff like that by saying, hey, we got our ass kicked, that hurts y'all's feelings, you might want to go watch another thing, because I'm just telling you guys, we're straight up on here. If we got our ass kicked, we got our ass kicked. I mean, we're not gonna sugarcoat on this show. And that's what happened. Reminded me of that Clemson game. Oh, hold on. Whoa. Wait, y'all talking about 2018? Whoa, easy. Hold on now. That was my senior year, man. That was my last college game ever. Even though I didn't play. I dressed out, but they wouldn't let me go, man. I was fighting the training staff trying to get out there. Nah, I'm kidding. I wasn't. Well, I mean, I was fighting to get out there, but they ultimately said nah.
Miller's Edge on Tide 100 point.
Oh shit, and we got the tape too. Hold on, let's pull up the tape. And welcome back into this Monday edition of the Miller's Edge, Top 100.9, 1230 WTBC, presented by the Good Feet Store, America's arch support experts. All right, boys, let's go ahead and boys and girls. We have some women that listen to the show. Shout out to all the women that listen to the show, man. Shout out to everybody listening to the show. All right, let's dive into this breakdown, guys. Whew, where do we start? Por donde empiezo? Where do I start? That's how you say it in Spanish. If anybody was wondering what you guys weren't, but don't worry, it's all good. All right, 28-7, man. How did we get here? Well, I'm just going to straight up say it, man. We got whooped. We pretty much got whooped in almost every phase and facet of the game. But let's backtrack a little bit, right? How this game started. All right, we start off defensively. Pretty solid drive. Not drive, excuse me. Pretty solid series, getting a stop. First play, right? Smart by them. They noticed that we're very aggressive, especially on early downs when we are expecting run. If you guys haven't noticed, we dial up a lot of pressure like that. What do? Well, first play of the game, they dump it out to the flat, quick screen, real quick, big gain. And I'm not gonna lie, after seeing that, I was like, okay, all right, it's gonna be one of those types of games, right? A little bit of a chess match here. But sure enough, man, defense started off the game pretty hot. I mean, it had some energy. We saw a couple big hits. Guys flying around. Obviously, there's some concerns knowing LT Overton was out. Kelby Collins, his backup, was out. Like I told you guys, you would see 11, Jordan Renard filling in that spot. Then some Keon Keeley, especially on some of those passing downs. Thought those guys did a pretty decent job. There's a couple times you could see, Jordan Renard, defending the run a little bit light compared to LT. But nonetheless, I thought those guys did a decent job. But again, defensively, start fast. You know what I mean? Like, I thought we did a decent job there. Then, man, offensively, I'll be honest with you. 3 straight, I guess you can call it 3 straight runs, 2 running plays, then that play by with Lotzie or Brooks. I'll just say this. I know a lot of people were kind of like, well, what was that? Well, to be fair, not necessarily the play call I would have gone for, but again, I'm not getting paid to do it. Here it is right here on the stream. If you look at it, it really is just a bust. If these guys, this is on the receivers, right? This is what we call the ME. You got 2 guys running side by side like they're joined at the hip, and you got a corner just sitting here wide open, right? Like unblocked. I mean, there's clearly a bust. If one of these guys blocks this corner, I mean, I would argue I'm taking his speed to beat this linebacker right here all day. That's going to be a first down and probably more, guys. Look at all this grass. So before we jump on coaches and coordinators, which, again, I do think play calling could have been better in this game. I hate being that guy, but I'm just being transparent. That's what we do on this show. You got to see this stuff, and that's why I'm pulling up the tape so you guys can see this. This is that first third down that everybody was complaining about. Oh, what are we doing? Well, look at this. Look at this angle, guys. I don't know what made them leave the corner unblocked, but if you block that corner, I mean, this guy is without a doubt beating this linebacker in a foot race. And that's a lot of grass. So definitely the first down. That being said, what really happened? Well, the block punt leads to points, right? You're putting your defense in short fields, bad positions. I mean, there's only so much they can do. They have been holding up pretty well in tough spots, against LSU, South Carolina, even when they were put in bad positions, holding teams to field goals. This time around, you're going against a Georgia team that's got that vengeance, the vengeance in their mind, you know what I mean? A really good football team. It's tough. So I'll say this, just to, put it on the surface level real quick. Offensively got our ass whooped. Special teams battle, we got our ass whooped. Turnover battle, I know they had 1 interception, but you give that to them, right? They won the turnover battle. Defensively, I'm not going to knock our guys too much. It wasn't our best game, but we didn't play bad. I felt really what it was you sense that our guys are, getting a little worn out as the game went on. I thought we started pretty solid. Then throughout the course of the game, we were giving up more on the runs. A couple things, on the back end, right? Giving up some plays. But defensively, I mean, they were doing enough, but when you put them in such short field positions, it's tough. And really, that was one of the biggest keys to this game. Georgia controlled the time of possession in the game. They dominated, the positioning battle. I mean, really, if you look at where they started their drives, I mean, literally damn near all the times that they scored, they started pretty much in our territory, except for like one time, if I remember that correctly. So we just did so many things in this game to put ourselves behind the 8 ball. and when I say to beat ourselves, I'm not making excuses. Georgia beat us, but we also did a lot to attribute to that. You get what I'm saying? Like there's a balance here. But outside of, a couple of moments on offense, later in the game, we had no rhythm, guys. No rhythm. We finished with negative rushing yards, right? Negative. Now, you got to remember, in college, it's a whole net system. So you include the negative yardage from the sacks. I think Ty was like negative 28 due to sacks, right? So when you look at that, I mean, I think we technically probably rushed for like 30 yards or so, but with that, or a little bit less, whatever it was, we didn't hardly here. Matter of fact, let me pull the numbers real quick. We'll go back to the tape here in a second. Daniel Hill, 4 carries, 11 yards. AK Deer, 3 carries, 10 yards. I mean, Ty Simpson, 6 carries, negative 28 yards. I mean, guys, that was honestly embarrassing, like the whole rushing deal. Now, Georgia had been playing really good defense as of late. I mentioned it. I said, hey, man, like these guys are not the same defense that we played the first time around. And I even thought, I'm like, man, they're picking up where they left off the second half because they played a lot better that second half of that first game. And, boy, I'll just say this, man. Those dudes, to me, they look like they were playing with an edge, right? Their whole team, really. I feel like they were out physical in us outside of, some moments our defense had. But it just looked like they wanted it more. You know what I mean? Like, for some reason, and I know we were battling injuries. I'll get to all that. I'll explain all that. But to me, it just felt like between Ty and some of our guys up front, and we didn't have that confidence to us. You know what I mean? And it looked like they were the hunters and we were the huntees, right? That's what it looked like. And it looked like we were accepting it. And I couldn't figure it out. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it's because our guys felt, hey, we're going to probably be in the playoffs, whatever. I doubt that's it. But it just felt like they gave us too much that we couldn't handle. And I'll be honest, once you start off the way we started off with the block punt, then the interception, and those both leading to points, it really seemed like it took the life out of our team, at least, again, offensively, for sure. But you got to give credit where credit is due. I mean, Georgia did their thing defensively. I'm just going to be honest with you. I mean, like, I know we didn't have rhythm for a number of reasons, but part of it was the fact that Georgia's defense, they were all over us, right? They were smothering us up front on the line of scrimmage. One of the biggest turnarounds from this game is they were getting much better pressure on the quarterback this time around, which I thought that was going to be a big key. I told you guys, this is what they're going to do. I told you they're probably going to watch some of the Oklahoma stuff. They're going to see LSU, all these other teams that have success. Like, Alabama is going to see a lot of pressure. Like, that is one of the best ways to defend this offense. When you put pressure on this offense, everything is even more out of whack, especially the fact that we can't run the football. And that's what we saw. I told you guys. Georgia's going to bring backers, safety. That's what they do. That's how they generate pressure, and they were successful on it. But not only that, I'll show you guys on the tape. Go look at the back end. They had our receivers strapped. The DBs always do the seatbelt thing. They damn sure were doing that all game. None of our guys hardly had any separation. So there was no. What were we supposed to do? You're getting pressure up front, and you're getting strapped on the back end. And if you're, I don't know, if you're on this offense, I don't really know what to tell you, man. You can't run the football. You're getting strapped up. I mean, there's really nothing you can really do at that point. So, again, you got to tip your hat to these guys. But really, the way I view this game, guys, I mean, there's just a dominant performance by those guys on their side. And for us, it just was another week of a sluggish offense, another week of an offense that looks like we don't have an identity. Another week of an offense that looks to be one-dimensional. And then now that we're one-dimensional, that one dimension that we did have going good for us earlier in the year, which is our passing game, is out of sync and not worth anything either. So then what are you left with? You're left with an offense that can't really do anything. Like, guys, I just want to make this clear. I'm not saying the only reason, but one of the main reasons we scored points was because we can – thank number 15 of Georgia's defense because he got that personal foul penalty, then the pass interference. If it wasn't for that, guys, we probably would have been held scoreless. All right? Now, and I know you guys are mentioning the injuries in here. Listen, I acknowledge the injuries, and I even said on the post-game show, like, that is something to consider. Like, I agree. Like, Parker Brailsford, even though he's out there, I told you guys, he didn't look healthy versus Auburn. He didn't look that great in this game. Like, it is what it is. We knew that going into this game. Having Jam out, who everybody wrote off and talked about him being the worst running back. Well, I think you just found out there's a reason why they continue to play him. Just why, again, you won't hear that from me. I'll never sit on this show and say, oh, get rid of it. No, because I understand why the coaches play these guys, because I know what the guys behind them can do or what they can't do. But now I think you guys understand, yeah, Jam might have a couple games. He's been banged up, but you see when he's playing like himself, he's the best option, right? Ryan Williams, I mean, we get him the ball early on, which I think was the right. Like, listen, Ryan Williams is the type of guy, he might be struggling with drops. But at the end of the day, listen, you see what the guy can do with the balls in his hands. You have to find a way to just continue to feed him the football. I know some people are going to say, oh, well, he's going through a slump. Listen, he's not going through a slump with the yards after catch. I mean, catching the football, sure. Route running, sure. Dude, I mean, that's one of the only things I feel like you can really do at this point, man. Find your playmakers getting the football. Jeremy Bernard, I feel like he's a little banged up. He didn't look, super healthy. So I get we had injuries, but at the end of the day, man, there's no other way to sugarcoat it, man. I mean, like, we just got our ass whooped. It was what it was. Georgia looked like a football team out there with playing like with a mission. I feel like we looked like we were just out there like, man, we're beat up, we're banged up, we're going to try to go out here and see what happens. Like, we just didn't have that edge to us. And once we kind of got behind the 8 ball with the block punt and the interception, it felt like it was all she wrote. But these are my notes from the game. No rhythm offensively. The block punt interception led to points early. Hard to come back from that, clearly. Ty, he just continues to struggle right now. I'm not 100% sure if he, I think part of it is he is a little bit in his head. And if you guys go back and listen to what I used to talk about when everybody used to be calling for him, like when we still have Milroe, and I used to tell you guys, Ty can make all the throws. He can do everything you need him to do. But the one flaw, remember, and again, this is on record. You can go back and listen to all our shows we used to do. I used to tell you every time you guys asked about it. One of his biggest flaws is he has to get over the hump of it. He even said in an interview, like when he does struggle, sometimes it kind of snowballs. And I almost wonder if that's kind of what you're seeing right now, just on a long-term thing. I was referencing more like, hey, in practice, if Ty threw a pick in practice, he gets in his head, he gets frustrated, and then it's hard for him to get out that hole. I feel like we're kind of seeing that right now with he was playing really good, and I think all these expectations were this high. They're asking so much out of the guy, right? Because we don't have much of a running game. And I kept telling you guys, hey, man, it's hard when you put a lot of pressure on one guy. So I used to say the same thing for Milroe, and people used to think I was making excuses. I'm like, no, I just know football, man. Like, you can't have one guy just do it all. Like, you can't. This is a team sport. And I think, unfortunately, it's a combination of, I think, Ty's a little bit in his head because he's really tough on himself. I think also, I mean, guys, he doesn't have much help. Our running game is I mean, literally, came back to life briefly against Auburn. And then in this game, I don't know where it was at. I think he got left in Tuscaloosa. I have no idea. I mean, you're asking this guy to make all these plays. I mean, Ryan Williams, who's supposed to be like one of the best receivers in the country, man. I mean, like he's going through a slump. I don't know. I mean, the offensive line. Listen, I know on paper they look to be like one of the best units, and I will say they've done a much better job protecting. But I also know that there's still holes. There's still holes, and we saw that this game. I mean, Ty faced a lot of pressure. It's hard for him to make plays. We haven't been making many explosive plays. I didn't hardly see any in this game. Third down efficiency, which we dominated in the first game, was non-existent in this game. I think like throughout majority of the game, we made like one third down until like late in the third quarter, right? Then we started picking some stuff up. Then I talked about what they were doing defensively again, like getting after the quarterback, but strapping us up on the back end, man. And that's, I hate to say it, but that's what you expect out of a Kirby Smart defense. I mean, I'm very familiar with it. I played in it. Like, that's what they like to do. It's a pattern match system. And that's why when everybody used to like try to fight me on that, like, oh, well, like my dad, right? Oh, well, zone, man, Coach Saban's system's overly complicated. I'm like, no, it's overly complicated if you have guys that can't run it. But if you get the right guys that know how to run it, that's what I used to explain. That's what pattern matching does. It takes away all these routes that guys are running. You're not just dropping in flat zones, or it's not just traditional man. I mean, pattern matching, like what they do, that cover 7 system. I mean, when they're clicking, it's clicking, and that's what we saw in this matchup. But again, at the end of the day, I mean, just to boil it down, because I know I said a whole word salad of a number of things, and I've got plenty of tape to show you guys, because I know it's easier to show you than I can tell you, which I'll do that. But Ty, continues to be, he continues to struggle. He's 19 of 39 in this game for 212 yards. A lot of that coming later in the game. 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Gunnar Stockton, on the other hand, who's been playing a lot better. He was 20 of 26. I thought they did a nice job with him. And granted, again, I get he had a lot of short field to work with, but running him, right, is obviously something that works really well for those guys. I thought that if I had to point out something about our defense that didn't do great with, I think it was containing him a little bit. I thought we struggled with that. And then there was a little bit later in the game, some moments where we gave up too much. Georgia ended up rushing for 141, but overall, man, I just thought they played a damn good football game in all phases, offensively, defensively, and special teams. And on the flip side, we didn't. So that was pretty much the story of it, man. You've got the block punt, the interception early on. You start slow, you get behind it, you have no rhythm offensively. Defense is put in tough spots. I mean, that's really about all you can sum it up to, man. I mean, it's about as simple as that. Yes, we have injuries. Yes, those guys should be healthy for the playoffs here in a moment. But let me ask you guys this, and I'm just being completely honest when I ask this. Even when these guys come back from injury, I mean, do you guys feel like before they were injured over the last few weeks that we still look like some, much more dominant team? I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think so. I mean, before Cuevas got hurt, before Bernard was out, with stuff, before we really knew of Parker Barrels for being banged up. If you go back to South Carolina, LSU, and so forth, I mean, we still have been struggling. Even when Jam came back against Auburn, he looked a lot better. But you get what I'm saying? Like, we still have just been kind of just a little out of sync, man. So while I take into considerations the injuries in this game, I fully understand that. I mean, you got to remember they also had injuries, one to their center, and they still ran for 141. They still looked to accomplish everything they needed to do offensively. So I that's part of the equation. But guys, we have more problems than just injuries, and we've been saying it on this show. And that's why I always tell you guys, it's not about coming on here and just telling you guys what you guys want to hear. No, we're honest, and we give factual breakdowns. And I think you're starting to see more of what we've been talking about all year, even when we were winning games. It's not about complaining. Because I heard some fans again, we're a show where we break down sports. It's not about fandom on this show. I'm a former player. I'm not like a fan that's just like, we just want to win. No. We're going to break it down. And so when things aren't looking good, we're going to tell you they're not looking good and what can happen if they don't get fixed. And now we're starting to see that. So we'll talk about this because we need to hit a break. What does Alabama need to do moving forward? Because that was one of the questions on my post-game show with Gray, right? Alabama's offense is struggling. What do they need to do over the next 2 weeks to figure this stuff out? So we'll talk a little bit about that. We'll also talk about the whole playoff picture. I want to get y'all's thoughts on all this stuff. I want to get y'all's thoughts on the SEC championship game. I want to get y'all's thoughts on the playoff picture. What do y'all think about that rematch against Oklahoma? Our way to the championship games. I would probably argue that we honestly got blessed, man. I feel like where we got positioned at in the playoff picture is actually not too bad. We'll talk about that and more coming up right here on the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC, presented by the Good Feet Store, America's Arch Sport Experts. Quick timeout. We'll be right back.
Ring in the new year.
Millrose supporters knew they would tear Ty down after they built him up the way they did after 2 years comes of playing at this school. I'll say this. Listen. I have a truth bomb. People that probably don't want to hear, but we'll see. Needed more screens. I agree 1,000%. That was something I said on the postgame show. I forgot to mention it there, but you saw the success of when we did run some screens, Bernard and stuff like that. You 1,000%. You have to find a way to offset that pressure, and that was one thing I was confused on why we didn't do that. Even if you just go back and watch the first time around when we played them, we literally did that. Go back and watch the number of screens that we ran in that game, whether it was receiver screens, tunnels, or bubbles, or even halfback screens. We did a bunch of that in the first matchup, but I feel like we didn't do it nearly as much in this game. So I don't know, man. Ryan Grubb is interesting to me. The dude's a smart offensive guy. I mean, he can. This is what I've kind of gathered about him. He can dial up a play when you need it, right? he can dial up a play like some like great 2-point play, 4th down conversion play, like hell, even the lateral that they ran. I mean, like he'll draw these brilliant plays that make you go, "Damn, that was smart. Damn, that's a great design." You know, like Andy Reid does with the Chiefs in these, goal line situations, things like that, where you're like, "Oh man, they're going to get some points because they're about to dial up something." But on a consistent basis, though, I find myself just wondering, like the rhythm of his calls, man. And again, I'm not. I hate. I'm not going to be that guy to sit there and criticize Coach 24/7 because I understand. I know a lot of people don't, but I do understand on their end. They work with these guys every day. They see everything. So I'm not going to sit there and be that guy. But I can't help but wonder. I just can't help but wonder. Like, I mean, like, why are we not doing more to help these guys get into rhythm? You know what I mean? I just don't really. I don't know. I just don't know. This is how I look at it. You don't have a running game. I'm not saying you go away from it, but like just like we talked about with Slay, but lean into things that you do well. You know what I mean? Those extensions. And we taught like we just were saying here a second ago, like the screen game and stuff like that. I mean, like Ryan Williams with the ball in his hands, like I get he's having drops, but man, like find a ways to get the football and let him be a playmaker. You know what I mean? Like, and why are we running like you're going against a team that's throwing a lot of pressure at you? Why are all our routes all these long developing, 10 to 15-yard routes? Like, why not work, some more mesh routes, some, quick slants, RP, just quick, like, you know what I mean? Like, just, you know what I mean? Just take what the defense gives you, march down the field. I just don't, the rhythm just not there, man. And welcome back into this Monday edition of the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC, presented by the Good Feet Store, America's arch support experts. All right, man, I don't know. Reed Chase, there's something I was kind of thinking over the weekend. But I'm like, I don't want people to hear it the wrong way or think anything, but I can't help myself. I feel like I just got to share it, right? But before I say this, let me preface by saying this. If anybody takes what I say and makes anything political, makes it about race, makes it anything other than football, you're weird. And please get out of here because it's not about that. This is strictly about football. Only about football. Let me just preface by saying one more time. This is a football point. Nothing else. So don't take this any other type of way and run with it and try to twist it. No. But I thought about this because I saw Milroe. He was at the game, and shout out to Milroe for going to the game, especially given. I mean, like, dude, a lot of people. I'm not saying everybody. There's been a lot of people that have, completely ridiculed a guy for, I guess, struggling a little bit in a couple games, which we all do. Anybody that's played a sport or done anything in life. I mean, you've had moments, which I've said that repeatedly, but I get it. People are passionate. They like to point the finger. They like to have one guy to point the finger at. But that was my whole deal. And like I'm just gonna be straight up with this. I feel like a lot of people owe that man an apology. I feel like a lot of people owe an apology. I'm not saying everybody, but the people that were going out their way, name calling and trashing this guy. Again, there's one thing if you're just critical of a game or play, fine. But personal attacks, going after a guy, like people owe this man an apology. Because I think what you're seeing now, and again, let me also say this is not a shot at Ty by any means, right? Like, we've been supporting Ty. We always support Ty. I support anybody that wears this. There it is, other side. This A, right? I'm always going to do that. But I think what we've, at least y'all have seen, are some of the people that didn't see this before. Not me. We've been talking about this. But that it's never just on one guy. Or it's never one guy's fault. One guy can be struggling and playing bad. But I think what you guys are finally seeing is it never is just one guy's fault, and it never has been like that. And that's what we've tried to explain. And we had all these people trying to sit there and say all these things. And when we would say, listen, man, everybody's putting all this blame on number 4, but when you don't have a running game, when you don't have consistency at, with protection, you don't have all this other stuff, it's almost like your job is so much harder. And I try to explain that, and some people would say, "Oh, you're just making excuses again because people are weird and bring color into everything." And I'm like, "No, y'all are just beating up a guy who's like, he's doing what he can." And I think you're starting to see probably why, not just Coach DeBoer last year, but also, even Coach Saban with Milroe, like, and I'm not saying that I'm putting this on Ty, I'm putting this on more so like when you have an offensive line that can be a little, inconsistent, when you're not able to run the football, like you got to resort to, well, what does work or what can work? And I think that's what you're seeing right now. So this is what I would say. Did Milroe have his flaws? Absolutely. Like everybody does. But I think you finally realize what we've been saying on this show, and anybody that knows football has been saying all this time. It doesn't matter who your quarterback is, and it doesn't matter what type of quarterback he is. If he's a pocket passer, none of that matters if you're one-dimensional and you can't run the football. None of that matters if your offensive line is inconsistent. None of that matters if you're constantly facing pressure, right? Like Ty's seen at times this year. And none of that matters if your play calling doesn't put you in a great spot. That's football 101. And that's what we've been trying to say on this show. But people choose, to believe what they want to believe from their couch, and they trash the guy who didn't deserve it. And it's that simple. If you don't have those things, you're going to struggle. I don't care who it is. That's why when people used to just swear like, oh, just go put this guy. No, it doesn't work like. Even like when people are talking about bench and Ty. Guys, I mean, I know Ty's a little bit in his head and stuff, but I mean, I don't. So without the running game and some of these other things, I don't think Austin Mack or anybody would just make some drastic difference. If anything, if you had a change of pace guy, if you had a guy like Milroe, he probably would have made a difference because he's a completely different player. But the other guys, I mean, they're all similar. That said, the other reason why I think people owe that dude an apology is because for all the people calling for his job and telling him to leave, and they so glad he's gone. Ironically, that same guy went on to win an SEC championship, lead his team to the college football playoffs in a 4-team system, really was about a play away from going to the national championship game, right? And all that came, and by the way, that was he beat that same Georgia team led by Kirby Smart, different players, but all that while having fewer weapons, right? Because think about this. Again, I told you guys, a little bit of a truth bomb. People are going to get upset. And again, if you make this anything other than football, then you're weird. You can leave. But he did all this with less weapons, right? Everybody talked about our receiver room being the best it's been in years, so we can all agree on that. Don't make excuses. There's less weapons. Worse offensive line play, because that year they gave up like 40-plus sacks. So you can check that box. There's no argument there. And his coordinator, which was, changed, year in and year out, was less experienced. Who was it? Tommy Reese that year? Right? I mean, so I'm just saying, again, I know this is irrelevant, but listen, I always was bothered by the way people disrespect on a personal level. Again, I don't criticize a play is one thing, but I couldn't help but just say, like, you know what, man, let me just remind people, because there's a lot of loud people, right? In those times that were loud and disrespecting and trashing another B-side 5 member, one of our guys, but they're really quiet right now, right? When now they realize that we've been right this whole time on this side of things in terms of how football really works. Because I'm just saying, maybe I'm just nudging you. If you were wrong, there's nothing wrong with saying, hey, man, damn, I screwed up. I apologize to him. Not to me, to him. That's all I care about. Because y'all made an ass out of y'allselves. So again, one of the nicest dudes you could ever meet, because y'all thought y'all knew everything. And now you're seeing you got somebody that is the type of quarterback you guys wanted, a better receiver room, a better coordinator, all these things. But guess what? When you still have a lack of running game, when you still have a lot of other glaring issues, it doesn't matter. Case closed. We'll end on that. We'll go to a break. When we come back, we'll get back on topic. We got the phone lines open. We'll go to Smitty. We'll talk the playoff picture. Plus, we'll keep talking about this SEC championship game. And we'll keep on rolling right here on this it's a very interesting Monday edition of the Miller's Edge. Ty 100.9, 1230 WTBC, presented by the Good Feed Store. America's Art Sport Experts. Quick timeout. We'll be right back.
Hey, this is Wyatt Fulton from.
All right, we're back on track. I know people aren't going to like that. People are going to get upset. But that's why I preface it. It's only a football point. Like, literally, it's only a football point. But I'll be honest with you. I'm at the point that, like, people get upset over just speaking facts. Then, like I said, maybe this ain't the place for you. We're just honest, and we're very fair. We love Ty. Yeah, but see that what's crazy, Ricky, is the fact that like it's so weird to me that you even have to say that. Like the way people turn this whole thing into like, oh, it's a this versus that. That's why I said this is honestly the point even like isn't even about Ty. I promise. Like Ty's my guy. Like I said, Ty was supposed to come on the show until media folks tried to, want to act all funny about it. But yeah, no. The point isn't that at all. The point strictly is from a football point in that it to me, it really I'm sorry, it really bothered me seeing how fans treated one guy, man, who and maybe it's just because I'm friends with him and I know him personally, and maybe that's why it bothers me so much. But I don't know, man. That whole thing just bothered me, and we talked about it, but no, it's like just funny, man. You got me as a former player. I come on here and I just try to speak honest and stuff. But for some reason, like I find people just like they just choose, like they'll listen to all these people who have no credentials, no anything. But you got me just sitting on here. I'm giving y'all free game every day. Facts. Speaking of facts on everything, and then like people just ignore it, and so I can't help but just say, all right. Sometimes I just gotta, hey, just a reminder. We've been telling you guys this stuff, but you guys choose to go subscribe and pay to all this other stuff with people that don't get me started. Hate moved to Mill Road to Ryan Williams now. I mean, but because this is what it boils down to. Everybody always wants like somebody to blame, right? Everybody wants to have somebody they can put it on, and that's why I've always said it's never really been one person. It's never been that. That's why it drove me nuts when people used to talk about Jalen all the time. I'm like, bro, it's not just him. I mean, like. That's why I was saying again. I hate that. I hope it's not seeming like I'm hitting Ty with a stray. I'm not. I mean, I think Ty is a great quarterback. You've heard me talk about it. I thought he's playing like one of the best quarterbacks in the country. He's gone, on about a month or so of a slump right now, but nonetheless, he's still a really good football player. But I think a lot of his struggles right now, yes, I think he's in his head, but two, I also what I know is the fact that when he doesn't have that much help around him, there's only so much he can do. Ty's not great. Listen, I never once said Ty was. Now I said he was playing like the best quarterback in the country because again he was at one point, and I wasn't the only person that said that. Shit, every damn NFL scout, anybody you talk to, saying like he was. He went through a period where weeks 2 through 7 or whatever maybe he was playing like that. So, I mean, Ty's a really good player, but again, when you don't have a consistent running game, a lot of other factors involved, one of your best options, like Ryan Williams, he's not playing his best ball. I mean, it's part of it. It's a lot of pressure. And welcome back into the Miller's Edge, Ty 100.9, 1230 WTBC, presented by the Good Feet Store. America's Arch Support Experts. All right, we got the chat that's booming, so I need to catch back up on that in a minute, but I know we got the phone lines. Let me catch up on that real quick. 205-342-9904. Check us out on YouTube if you haven't already at the Miller's Edge. We stream every day. We got Smitty up first. Smitty, welcome in.
Hey, how's it going, Christian?
Oh, man, it's great, man. Another day, another dollar.
Hey, look at Notre Dame fans. All I got to say is garden tools are mad, if you get what I'm saying.
Hold on. Wait. We need to no. Let me let you go ahead because we'll do hour number 2. We'll dive in that whole thing because that's a whole circus in itself, man. It sounds like you're a firm believer Notre Dame didn't deserve a spot in the playoffs.
Yes, because he should have won the head-to-head against Miami. Sorry, guys. Hey, yes.
Well, let me ask you this. So, who would you rather see in the playoff? Would you rather see JMU or Tulane, or would you rather see Miami or hell, even who's somebody else? I don't know, even like a Vanderbilt.
BYU. Here's the thing. The only reason the G5 is getting the spot so they won't get sued. But I think it's time that time is over because with transfer portal NIL, they ain't no more Chris Peterson Boise State teams. Get what I'm saying? Because they had a shot when it's a 4-teamer. But you don't have a shot at a 12-teamer. I'm sorry, because you don't have the depth. Alabama's struggling with depth right now. They're an SEC team,
Right.
But when it comes to quarterback, I'm always criticized Milroe's turnovers. I'm like, hey, you ain't a drop back passer. They did a good job for 2 years not having a drop back pass game because they knew that wasn't his strength. They won games anyway. But the turnover's always been my issue with quarterback. Hey, you can't struggle at both now. You may be limited, but you can't turn the ball over because you put somebody in a bad spot. But with Ty, my issue has always been, because remember what I said, because I said, we know about the offensive line. We know about the run game. We know Ryan Williams has trouble with ball skills. We know all these things, right? But I always told you, when the play is there, you've got to make your plays. You make your layups.
Yeah.
And, because, hey, that interception was a clean pocket. We can blame coaches all we want. But when the running back is open and you throw it at his feet, that ain't on Grubb. And I told people, don't make Grubb out to be the magic elixir, because I thought Sheridan got a raw deal. But the thing is, that fourth down play, folks want to blame the coach. The running back was open in the flat. Quarterback threw it out of bounds on fourth down. You cannot throw the ball out of bounds on fourth down. But what I'm saying is that I believe, like I said, I never played football at this level. But I know, because I told you 2 months ago, I was worried about him. He had happy feet. He had happy feet and was shaky against Eastern Illinois. A bad FCS team. That's something I worry about. Because if your feet are happy, and if you're scared to make a mistake, you're going to be late. I believe if you're a quarterback, you got to have no conscience. James Winston, we make fun of him all the time as interceptions, but the guy has no conscience. Because if you're scared to make a mistake, you're going to be bad. And I think sometimes if the guys are covered, if it's one-on-one, sometimes you may just have to throw it up in the air, make a play. Sometimes you may have to. You may get a flag. They throw flags to anything. But with the game, right, I thought that the defense did everything they could. They got put in some bad spots where Gunnar Stockton did not have to win the game. He did not have to throw under rest. He did not have to throw trailing. They were throwing 4 or 5 yard passes, and the players made plays. And Christian, the most disappointing thing about that game was when Ty got hit after that whistle for like a false start or whatever, and none of those offensive linemen jumped on that Georgia player. I was like, why is Taylor the board more upset than you guys?
You know what's crazy? What's crazy? The reason we ended up going live after the game with Slade is because immediately after that, he texted me. I promise to God, he texted me and said, bro, the fact that nobody just defended Ty just then really just ticked me off. He's like, that's crazy. And I'm not with getting, stupid penalties, but you at least have to show something. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Don't go pushing or punching nobody necessarily, but they ain't gonna call a flag if you go address it, go get in somebody's face. You know what I'm saying? You go defend your guy. That was interesting to me. I agree.
But I know you got to run, but I'll check back in this week. Hey, thanks for taking my call. And I love seeing everybody mad about Alabama getting in. You guys have a good one.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, Smitty. You too, bro. All right, we got to hit a timeout. When we come back, man, we got plenty more to talk about. We'll keep talking about this with you guys. We got to talk about the playoff picture, how that whole thing unfolded. Don't forget, tomorrow on the Talking Tuesday, we'll talk with Chris Lowe about it, Clint Lamb about it, and we'll talk about this and maybe break down some film with the film guy, Brooks Austin, as well. Again, that's tomorrow. Right here on the Miller's Edge, Ty 100.9, 1230, WTBC. Chris, I understand, but you have to make a play. Good quarterbacks make a play. Oh, absolutely. No, I never said, listen, I'm not saying the only reason he's struggling is those things. What I'm saying is, I know how this game of football works. And if you're a quarterback and you don't have a consistent running game and your offense is one-dimensional, it puts so much more pressure on that position. That's all I'm saying. And I do feel like that does contribute to some of the struggles we're seeing with him. Not to mention he naturally gets in his head when he doesn't do well. So that's what I'm saying. Because go back, I mean, he was playing some damn good football. I'm just saying, we just were putting a lot on his shoulders. Well, I mean, pre-snap, look at him. I mean, the dude is literally getting us in and out of I mean, everything was running through him. Oh, you submitted. Oh, yeah. All right. We still do the app message, I promise. Normally, they used to remind me in the studio, but we just have a lot going on. Then with the stream, it gets confusing. But I have it, so I have it so they come to my email now. So thank you for reminding me. I just need to check my email. Jared from Dallas says, "Why are we talking about Milroe? Because it's called the Miller's Edge, Jared. It's my show, and I'll talk about what I want to talk about." Appreciate that message. Can you go talk to Ty and see if you can get him out of his head, since you're the only one that seems to understand this? No, I think a lot of people know that. I just think, I mean, listen, I could offer him some words of encouragement, but those guys up there definitely know, how to talk to him and stuff like that. I mean, I definitely could encourage him, but at the end of the day, I think he just has to understand, man, he don't need to be perfect. He don't need to be Superman. You just got to learn to just kind of take with the defense, like that interception. I'll pull up the clip so you guys can see it. He forced that one in there. Jordan did a nice job disguising it really well. They were disguising, they were playing like zero, like straight man. Guys dropped out. They had a whole player underneath, and Ty really tried to – I don't know why he tried to force it in that window, and he was trying to put it behind him a little bit because of the underneath defender. However, if you look, if he would have just scanned – I think it was the tight end that released late maybe, but he could have just dumped it off right there, or hell, even just throw the football away. If you didn't get to that read, just throw that you can't make those types of decisions in a game like this. I mean, you just can't. But you guys got to remember, too, he's a young guy that doesn't have a whole bunch of experience. So I mean, like, I promise I'm not making excuses for Ty. Just like people probably thought I make excuses for Miller. No, I don't make excuses for guys, but I also just understand because I've been in their shoes. Like, he you know what I'm saying? Like, he literally, this is his first year starting. So even though he's an older guy and he's been playing really good, you just got to remember, he'll learn, which leads you to the question. I mean, like, if he continues on this path, could we see him maybe trying to return to school, which that really would throw a wrench in all the gears of, the quarterback room and Austin Mack, Keelan Russell. Golly, Jared left another thing. Jared's normally a cool dude. Why? This is what I'm saying, man. Guys, if you guys get sense, not you guys, I'm just saying, but if something like bothers you, man, like don't double app message us, like, seriously, ... Why are we talking about Milroe? What's the point of stirring that up? He was terrible and Ty's playing terrible. It is what it is. Move on. Like, to me, listen, again, I love all our listeners, and I know Jared listens a lot. He leaves a lot of app messages, but that just sounds like somebody that probably was wrong. Like, no one's stirring anything up. I just was saying, like, just going back to it, because now we're removed from it. And again, you had a large percentage of this fan base calling a guy for a guy's number and saying, "Oh, if we only would have played this guy." And I'm just saying, I think people realize now it was never just one player. That was the point. And again, at the end of the day, the show is called The Miller's Edge. So we're going to talk about what Christian Miller wants to talk about. Oh, man.
BC.
Let me stop. I'm just being funny. And welcome back into this Monday edition of The Miller's Edge, Ty 100.9, 1230 WTBC, presented by the Good Feet Store, America's arch support experts. Man, it's been an eventful day. I told you guys, I told you that the people are going to get a little upset, a little truth bomb. Nobody, let me be clear, nobody was stirring any pot. It's just when you revisit it, I'm bringing it up because it was one of my talking points for the last 2-3 years. And we had a lot of people that either chose to ignore what me and my dad talked about, even though we kept trying to tell you guys respectfully. I mean, that's how football works. It has nothing to do about anything else. And I'm just saying, like, I think revisiting it, you guys can see our point that we were making then. So really, I'm bringing it up, I guess, so you guys understand. They know what they're talking about on the Miller's Edge. That's all it is. All right. Keith is funny. He said, "Come on, Christian, you act like this is your show." He's joking because I was playing around saying, "Well, guys, I mean, the show is called The Miller's Edge. I mean, we're going to talk about probably what comes to the mind of Christian Miller, who hosts the show. That would be me." All right. Where should we pick up? So we got some phone calls we need to get to. We're talking about the SEC championship game. I definitely want to talk about the playoffs. I know there's plenty of app messages we need to get to. Where do we start, guys? Where do we start? Let's take another call real quick. Actually, no. Let's catch them. So let's get some messages real quick. Tia left an app message. We'll read her app message, and then I'll get to some of these chats real quick, and then we'll go to the phone line just because we're loaded today, which is good. Great problem to have. All right, here's Tia's app message. Wait, is there two of them? All right, no, here it is. Tia, shout out to Tia out in California. What's wrong with the running game? Milroe masked a lot of the issues in the running game last year. I always push back on the talking point of the 1,000-yard rusher KDB had in Washington simply because of the conference. Remember, Ryan Grubb got fired after only 1 year at Seattle because they couldn't run the football consistently. So what's the real problem? Is it the scheme? Is it the running backs? Is it the offensive line? Also knowing Grubb has a reputation for being a my way or the highway drill sergeant type who can be extremely stubborn. Is this even fixable, or are we stuck with the same issues as long as he's calling the plays? Well, damn, that was one way to start hour number 2. All right, well, we got the tape pulled up. Let me just give you one example. Where's this play we just ran? Here's my thing. It's a number of things, right? It genuinely is a number of plays. This split zone right here, some type of split zone action. You see Jeremy Bernard working back, right? You see how they're blocking it up. This is what I'm saying about, like, these little details matter. And we see these, at least what I feel like, consistently. Boom. They've got a combo right here between the tight end and right tackle Michael Carroll on none other than Christian Miller, not me, but of Georgia. I think it's Kristen Miller, whoever. Anyway, they're supposed to be comboing him and climbing up to 5. That's what Edwards is doing here. The problem is, if you're going to combo somebody, you got to get the guy, you got to get push. There's no push. The guy, the combo did nothing because you guys can see the line of scrimmage. He's literally pushing Michael Carroll back, even though he was supposed to be double teamed. That's not the only problem. Then you watch, because we don't get push, because we don't finish the block, right? If you look at this, if Michael Carroll can finish, right, this block right here, I know this hole is closing up. We don't finish over here. That's what I'm talking about. You see good here. What you want is everybody to stay locked on those blocks, because initially they were on those blocks, right? It's not like they had a ME. Look, Brailsford's on 94 initially. They're comboing there. He's climbing up. I understand 5's right there, but boom, then he climbs up. What should naturally happen is if everybody executes and stays on those blocks, he should be able to climb. The back should be able to get to the second level, and then he'll have a situation where it's him one-on-one or whatever, the corner safety, and you should be guaranteed 5, 6, 7 yards off that play. I'm showing you guys the tape. I'm not just talking. You're seeing what I'm talking about. But because you have a failed combo block, you don't finish the block on 52 and 94, it goes for nothing. That's one of the most glaring things that I see on tape. We're not finishing blocks. So you got that, number one. There's times we don't get great push. But I'm going to be honest with you. There's a lot that is contributed to the running backs. Our running backs have not been playing great this season. They haven't. There's been times, listen, if you go back, and we've watched it on here before, but if you guys want to go back and if you watch the Vanderbilt game, we had great execution with our blocks up front, and our running backs did a nice job hitting holes, exploding through, and they picked up a lot of yards on the ground that game, right? But it's like it's not consistent. But if you go back and watch, like, that's the key to it. You got to get pushed, you've got to execute, and you have to maintain blocks. We let guys shut us way too much. We don't finish blocks consistently. But I still don't, that's part of it. But the other part is the backs have to be better. I feel like there's times backs don't hit the right holes. I feel like there's times that backs dance a little bit. I feel like there's times that backs don't trust what their offensive line is doing in front of them instead of just hitting the hole. Go back and go watch. I'll flip the tape and let you guys watch, Jordy. Go watch Nate Frazier. Watch his ass hit the hole sometimes. His ass is hit. He knows where he's going, and he's trusting his guys up front are doing their job, and he's hitting it. We don't see that consistently with our guys. So it's a really good question. And in terms of, Ryan Grubb's part on it, I'm sure there are some things that, could be tweaked there. But I've always said this, man, like, I'll call a coach out when they need to be called out, and there's definitely some things you probably could. But at the end of the day, man, they're not the ones that are on the field. Ryan Grubb called some type of split zone play here, some type of inside zone action, whatever, cool. He's not the one on these combo blocks. That's why he goes and recruits 320-pound big high school kids to come do this. He's like, what, 5'9"? You know what I mean? So he can't combo block. They have to find a way. You know what I mean? So that what should have, and I get these gaps closed quick, and I understand you're like, well, 5 and 4. Listen, Daniel Hill will run over those guys and fall for it for 5, 6 yards, maybe make a guy miss. You're not going to be able to block everybody. That's part of it. The goal in the running game is typically to get your guy on the second, third level and make him have like a one-on-one opportunity to make a guy miss. That's the running game for you. So in terms of what else could they do, I'll say this. If I had to say what type of run plays work for us, pin and pull, hitting the perimeter seems to be one of the better designs that we have. If you go back and watch Auburn, we ran a lot more on the perimeter. That seemed to have some more success. That was something they did a lot at Washington. We do it a lot here. So pin and pull type plays. Between the tackles, just for whatever reason, I mean, I guess you're seeing the reason we're not really getting great push or consistently finishing. We're not very effective between the tackles. So I would almost say continue to try to work the edges, work the perimeter. That's what I would probably lean into. But again, guys have to execute. What happened here? Right? This is a read by Ty. He ends up keeping the football. And again, what happens? The same thing we just look, same thing. Literally the same thing just happens here. Right? Boom. What happens? Right? They're running a little bit of a run stunt, which actually isn't too much of a problem here. Matter of fact, it actually takes them out of position because 52 takes himself out of the play. 94, we either call that a tom or whatever, where they basically have a nose in the tackle doing some type of quick like run stunt, right? You can do it in pass rush as well. That said, they take themselves out of the play, but then look what happens. Brailsford doesn't finish, and this guy blows Ty up. Look at the screen, guys. I mean, it's literally on the tape for you guys to see. Like, if Brailsford is finishing this block here, this guy doesn't cross his face. Look at the lane that's opening up. I mean, yes, you got 6 coming. Maybe Ty makes a miss, maybe he doesn't. But again, that's like a guaranteed 5, 6, 7 yards to carry. But instead, what happens? We don't finish. Now, 72 is hurt. He's banged up. He's on one tire. So I'm not like knocking him too bad. I understand he's playing through it. He's tough. But this guy ends up crossing his face. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you watch, it's a lot of little technique things. It's not like our guys can't do it. It's not like they're not tough enough or big enough or strong enough. I mean, they can do it. It's a technique thing. It's a technique thing. So really good question. I'll be honest. I know you mentioned about Grubb. I know what they said. I feel bad trying to say like, oh, because I don't know too much about his history other than what we've heard, and that's one side of it. I don't know. Maybe I'd be curious. Maybe I should just go talk to him one day and ask him his philosophy on running the football. I don't know. Maybe I should. Let's see. Let's do this. Let's hit an early timeout now. Hit it a minute or two early because when we come back, I want to get to the phone lines. We got Bama Boss up next. We've got T-Man coming up. We'll get to those guys. We'll continue talking about this, breaking it down. During the break, I'm going to keep breaking down film. I'm going to read all the chat here. So make sure, guys, if you have questions, just type like a Q and then write your question. That way I can get to it immediately because we're loaded here on the Miller's Edge on this Monday edition, which is great. Good problem to have, man. Welcome in, everybody. We got to hit a timeout when we come back. We'll keep on rolling right here, Ty, 100.9, 1230, WTBC.
On your properties appeal. Hey, I'm Christian Miller, and at Asphalt Restoration, we transform.
Shout out my guys at Asphalt. Mike says, good show today. Hey, appreciate it, Mike. Hey, listen, man. I hate to say this. We hate losing, but for whatever reason, I mean, it's these moments, man. We have these like big shows that are full of stuff to talk about, breakdowns. So, I mean, I guess if you're trying to look for a positive, hey, there's always good content coming, unfortunately. We hate to lose, but best believe there's going to be some good content. Let's see. Look at Washington stats versus Michigan in the Natty. This is who Grubb is against competitive defenses. I mean, that's kind of, I hate to say it, but I mean, listen, we all know this, right? I mean, like anybody that watches Kalen DeBoer's off, I mean, like it's not like you know what you're getting. I mean, they're going to be pass heavy. They're not afraid to run the football, but it's definitely going to be different than, what we might be typically used to. Let's see, because I know there's a bunch of questions earlier. Kevin Riley being out. I thought Kevin Riley was one of the better backs when it came to hitting the holes. Guys, if Bama had a running game, that would help, but you can't have a quarterback throwing picks, not seeing the field, and missing receivers. Yeah, no, and that's true, but I think what the point is it's almost like, I mean, you can kind of flip it, flop it however you want to, but at the end of the day, when you have a running game, it forces defense to be honest and it makes seeing the field a little bit easier, right? Because defenses aren't able to do, like, when you're one dimensional, you get what I'm saying? Like, they're putting everything into, all right, we're not really respecting the running game like that, so they're going to throw a lot of shit at you, on the back end. Like, let me get to this interception. I'll show you. But you're right. I'm not disagreeing. You're right. I mean, a quarterback can't make mistakes like that. I said that. But I think the point is he more than likely wouldn't have as many mistakes when the offense is a lot more balanced and is flowing a lot better, right? Because it's not like he's just sitting here making bonehead mistakes like 24/7. That's not what it is. Listen, he tried to force a football in there on that third down through that pick. It's not like he just, like some of these quarterbacks you see that just throw bad, like dumb thing, like what the hell? Like, he's not really doing that. He's just being too aggressive. Why do you think he's being too aggressive? Because they're asking a lot out of him, and they're putting. That's what we're saying. The pressure almost like makes him feel like he has to make these throws or do these things, which then those lead to the mistakes. Not saying 100%, but I think that's part of the equation. That's all we're saying. This is funny. AK gets out there on one play and everybody wants to say he's not ready. What about the rest of the team that's been there all year? If the issue is technical, then is the fault of the offensive line coach? Listen, they 100% take some accountability, but yeah, like they have to find a way to get that corrected. I agree, but I think it's an equal thing. That's how I view it. And I know you guys know probably how I am. I always fall like down the middle. I'm very balanced, but like I truly do feel like that. I don't think it's only one thing. I always think it's a number of things. Damn, these breaks are flying by. And welcome back into this Monday edition of Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230, WTBC, presented by the Good Feet Store, America's arch support experts. Here's another quick little clip before we go back to the phone lines. And this is when I talked about Georgia's defense doing a good job. They're providing pressure, but strapping things up on the back end. You see what they're doing right here, right? They bring 5. Of course, they got their linebacker in the equation. They got one of them. They got CJ Allen in there. He's working the game. You see the loop stunt by 33, who I told you guys has been playing. 33 has really come along this year. I don't know if we saw much of him in the first game. I just don't remember much of him then, but I've been seeing a lot more of him. Thought he was solid. And you see what they've got 5 kind of, hovering, picking up a late check down. I'm sorry, I couldn't think of the damn word. So this is what I'm describing about what Georgia did well, by the way, so people see this. I know we're quick to talk about what we do, which is right, but I also want to give credit. So they're not only getting pressure on Ty, they've got a linebacker that's sitting there waiting to pick up because they know, hey, what's something that Alabama's been doing recently, right? Quick little check downs or like late, slippers like this. You see the guy slipping out late, tight end. So they got, boom, somebody for that. They're playing man on the back end, and we're strapped up. So, I mean, you can't really put that on Ty because where else is he supposed to throw football? We're strapped up everywhere with Georgia's defense, and they got a safety just waiting to come crash down on it. So that's why I love tape, guys. That's why I'm a big tape person, because the tape doesn't lie. You know what I mean? Like, you can listen to people just talk about stuff. The tape tells you the whole story. And we'll continue to keep going to it and keep breaking it down. 205-342-9904 is the number to the program. We've got Bama Bossman up next. Welcome in, Bossman.
Hey, how's it going, Chris?
It's good, man. It's been a minute, man. Everything good with you?
Yeah. No, we still going through a thing on my contract for on the show and stuff, and we still going back and forth about that.
Well, listen. The pastor of pain, man. I mean, he's pretty much long gone at this point, man. So I mean, hey, we can speed up the contract. We'll get you taking this spot, man. I'll send you over a computer, a mic, and a camera. We'll get you all set up, boss man.
Well, that'll be good because I got my lawyers involved. It's been going on too long. I've missed the whole season.
Yeah, that's on me, man. Flag on me, man. Flag on me. Talk to me, man. What did you think about this game this weekend, boss man?
I've seen Alabama lose games before, but we got beat, and that wasn't. That's what hurt me. And then the thing about it, I was in Atlanta. I wasn't at the game, but I was in Atlanta, and we was watching the game, and it was ugly. It really was ugly. And
yeah.
But believe it or not, that's really not the reason I called. I called because I got a question for you as a former player and as a, analyst. Okay, if you were an AD of a big school, Alabama, Georgia, Miami, well, not Miami, but Alabama, Georgia, Ohio State, like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Would you schedule a game with Notre Dame where the benefit is all for Notre Dame and it's not for you one way whatsoever? And also, my second point, they're crying about not getting in the playoffs, but they only get 6 games in a conference that they don't even belong to. The conference that they don't belong to was won by a team that had 5 losses. The 2 best games on their schedule, they lost. Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Okay, and then if they're in the playoffs, every dime they make from the playoffs goes to Notre Dame. But every other school that's in these playoffs, they have to split their money with the other 16, however many teams are in the conference. So why would I, as an AD of Alabama, say, well, okay, and we do got them on the future schedule, why would I play them? Because it does not benefit Alabama.
Yeah.
Am I right or am I wrong?
Yeah, no, I hear exactly what you're saying. What I would say is I think the solution is Notre Dame needs to join the conference, so then we can put all this to rest.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think that's literally like the most simple. Well, I don't know the process of it, but I would think that would just solve all these questions, right? Just get them to join like, to me, I was even thinking about after all the nonsense going on in my head, I'm like, these are some quick solutions or things that you should do. Notre Dame needs to join a conference, get rid of the whole, we have to include the G5 teams. And if we are going to feel like we want to give them an opportunity, make them schedule a minimum of maybe 2 Power 4 teams, maybe one from the SEC, one from the Big Ten during the regular season for their non-conference games or whatever it is. That way they have to prove during the year if they belong or not, or just do some type of play-in. But like, to me, I'm like, leaving a team like Notre Dame or Vanderbilt or hell, even, BYU or Texas out, but then having, and I know it's inclusion and stuff, but I'm like, to me, like, these teams are literally favored to lose these games by like 17 plus points, both 17, like 20, I think it is. That to me is not a playoff game like that. Like that's to me, it's a charity case. I'm sorry. I hate to sound harsh, but I'd rather see Texas go play Oregon. I'd rather see Vanderbilt play Oregon. I don't want to see Tulane.
And I never thought I had this come out of my mouth, but Vanderbilt is one of the 12 best teams. And I actually think they need to be in the playoffs. And I can't stand Pavia but he runs that offense and he's a good quarterback and he does that good. And I actually think if anyone got screwed to me, it'll be them or someone like Texas. And like you said, Tulane and James Madison, there's no reason. The only reason they're in it is because they would sue the NCAA if they're not included. And instead of fighting the suit, they include 2 teams like this. But it's just a waste of time, and it messes everything up, and it causes teams that deserve to be in there that really fought through the masses to get there to not be able to get there.
Yeah, and I understand I'm from the end of the James Madison, and it's like, what's the point of us playing if we don't even have a shot? But that's why, to me, I'm like, so I think what's going to happen is they're going to end up expanding the playoffs, right? It's almost inevitable at this point. I just feel like Notre Dame joining the conference solves a lot of issues. Hell, the way they decide the ACC championship teams, like those tiebreaker scenarios, like, to me, that's the dumbest thing that a 5-loss Duke team was in the ACC championship over the likes of Miami. That caused a lot of problems. That makes no sense. Yeah, there's a lot that needs to get cleaned up, boss man. But we're going to dive into that. Trust me, because I got a lot of thoughts. I know a lot of people are hearing guys like Mark Ingram, guys like Damian Harris talk about their thoughts of whether Alabama should make it or not. So we definitely got to get to that too, and we'll talk about it plenty tomorrow. You got anything else for you? We're going to try to hit another phone call real quick.
Yeah, I just wanted to get that off my chest. Like I said, we did. I told you before, I don't like Tennessee and I don't like Auburn, but the only game I don't want to lose is against Georgia. So like I tell you, I got this friend, I never knew he watched football until the championship, and I've been knowing him for 40 years. So But
that's part of it.
And I live closer to Georgia now. You know, my barber is a Georgia fan. So when I walk in the door, first thing he said, "Let him eat." Woo! And now I can't even get my hair cut. I can't get my beard shaved. But you know,
dang, when they take away your barbershop piece, that's when you know it's bad, man. Dang, boss man.
Yeah,
we got to get some get back for you, man. That way you can go get that clean shave, nice and nice and relaxed. You got to worry about them folks pestering you, man. Hey, it's good to hear from you, brother.
Good every day. It ain't me. It's the contract. Gonna get it straight, and I'm on every day.
That's right. I'm gonna send it on over, man. Just drop that email. We're gonna send it to you, boss man. We appreciate you, brother.
All right, man.
Yes, sir. Be easy. All right, real quick. Before we move on the phone lines, we're talking about the running game so much. I just want to continue because, guys, I'm not even clicking through this. This is a sequence. These are the play after play, right? What do we have here? So for our radio listeners, just keep up with me. I promise I'm going to detail it so you guys can see or hear or picture, I should say, right? We're running a form of counter, right? We're pulling Vandermark, who was playing left guard in Dewberry's place. I understand that was another injury, but it's not like Vandermark has not played. He's borderline a starter, right? So you look at what we're running here. We got counter, boom. A.K. Deer, the freshman phenom everybody's been calling for. Poor guy doesn't have a chance. Well, initially it does. Look at this hole that's opening up. It looks good until you realize we've got a backer that's unblocked. And then you wonder, why is he unblocked? Well, you got Vandermark and Edwards. They're on the same guy who's literally like, guys, what was supposed to happen here was Vandermark was supposed to climb up. So he's pulling, right? I get he's trying to bang this guy, pause, or kind of chip him right, hit that hip. But listen, you have to, like, the backer's sitting there on the second level and right in front of you, brother. Right? If you see your tight end there, unless the tight end was supposed to climb and he's supposed to bang him out, regardless, you guys are seeing the common theme, guys. I mean, this ain't on Ryan Grubb, and this ain't on the back either. He's hitting the hole he's supposed to hit to, but look, there's a backer waiting on him because why? We have a bust. That's failed execution. So for everybody that keeps asking me about the running game, I'm just going to stop talking about it and just show you guys that's it. I mean, like, you're seeing it right here. This is the all 22. You can see a perfect. Hey, you see that there should be a hole right there for AK, but instead we have two guys on the same guy instead of climbing up to 5. That's all she wrote. And then look at the grass, guys. I mean, you see what we should be gaining. Instead, we finish with negative yards. That's why. All right, let's do this. Let's hit a timeout. We'll hit one 2 minutes early. That when we come back, we got T-Man. We're coming to him up next. We got Super Joe, some other phone calls we'll get to. Plus, we'll keep on talking with you guys in the chat, breaking down the film right here on the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC. And real quick, don't forget about our friends over at the Good Feet Store, America's Arch Sport experts. Try before you buy. Nothing to lose. If you're dealing with any type of pain, foot pain, knee pain, back pain, they'll take care of it. You literally just put these Arch Sports in your shoes and they get to work. I wear them every day, whether I'm walking, running. It don't matter. These things are they're game changers, man. So let them be game changers for you. Just head on over to the Good Feet Store, Midtown Village here in Tuscaloosa, or go to their website, goodfeet.com. You can see all the locations nationwide. They're all over the place. Plus, you just type in the zip code. It's real easy, and they've got plenty of information and videos you guys can read up on them. But I promise, just go on in the store and try them out, man. You won't be disappointed. That is the Good Feet Store, improving the quality of people's lives 2 feet at a time. It's like we like to do here on the show. Improving the quality of your life 2 hours at a time, hopefully. Unless we bring up Milrow, then people start getting mad in the app inbox. All right, we got a timeout. When we come back, we keep on rolling Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC. Oh man, sorry, I'm just having fun today, guys. I'm having fun, man. We got a chat full of some great Bama fans talking football. We're just having fun with it, man. I'm just making jokes. Christian, the OC, O-line coaches need to have a chat. Look, listen, and to be fair, all the stuff I'm pointing out, it's not like they don't see this. I mean, these guys are probably getting their ass chewed out in the film room right now as we speak because of this. Again, I mean, like, I just. And before and listen, I'm fair. Before I throw it on Vandermark, maybe listen, because a lot of times, yes, when guards are pulling, they're looking to kick guys out. So maybe he was supposed to just kind of hit here and climb. But all I'm saying is, nah. The fact that nobody's climbing, we just got 2 guys, really 3 guys just bundled up right here and just leaving him blocked. That's a bust. That's not on the coaches. Just getting the ball out quick. I mean, hell, honestly, this is the type of stuff I think we need to do a little bit more of. Just that's an extension of the running game, so to speak, right? Getting out quick, picking up 4 or 5 yards, we'll take it. Let's see what we have here. Third down, great get off up top. Chris Cole, he's a good player, man. Nice job by Proctor, though. Believe it or not, I know he struggles with speed, but just to Ryan. Wait, let me see what coverage they're playing. This might be tough because it's going to be bunch rules. I mean, they're playing a form of man. It could be some type of pattern match, but I mean, great job by Ryan, man. When I saw this by Ryan early on, I was like, man, it might be one of those days, man. Like Ryan, he's looking like Ryan. You know what I mean? The yards after catch, but and you guys haven't already, man. I got to do my job, man. If you guys haven't, man, hit that like button. We got like 92 in here. I think we got like 30 likes. It's free. It takes 2 seconds. And listen, I mean, we got tape pulled up for you, man. Like, I'm doing everything you guys want, man. Hit that like button. That always helps us out, man. It's so funny. As soon as I say that, there's always like 2 or 3 people that like leave. It's like, oh, damn, he said hit the like button. Fuck that. We don't want to hit the like button. It hurts me just to tap the like button, even though it's free. It takes 2 seconds. Oh, no, he has to hit the like button. But that's an explosive play, though. Let me hurry up and get back on track while we got time. Got to have this one. It's a drop. Like that's not on tie. You know what I mean? Like that should be a big pickup right there. Nice route. Right, I mean pretty clean pocket there, right? Running them by down the bottom of the screen. I mean, literally, I mean that's a 25-yard catch right there. I mean, good coverage, at least a good finish by that DB trying to get a hand in there a little bit, but still, I mean, you got a big, strong receiver like that, you got to come down with that. That's a good throw. That's we failed execution right there. It's a drop. And welcome back into the Miller's Edge, Tie 100.9, 1230 WTBC, presented by the Good Feet Store, America's arch support experts. All right, we're still breaking down this game. I want to get to the playoff talk in a little bit, but I want to hit maybe one more phone call if we can real quick. 205-342-9904. We'll get to another one, but I meant before we switch the topic real quick. We got T-Man up next. T-Man, welcome in. T-Man, you with us? Going once, going twice. All right, sold. I think he might have dropped. If you want to circle back, man, 205-342-9904 is the number to the program. We got Super Joe up next. Super Joe, welcome in.
Hey, what's going on, partner? How you feeling, man, Christian?
There he is. What's up, my guy?
Man, ain't no complaint, man. Should I tell you what? I was thinking about that game the other day, Bama and Georgia, but Hubbard spoke up well. I mean, they're banged up. I mean, look, we had 12 players out. Let's be a little realistic. Okay, it's not an excuse, okay, but look, sometimes you just got to be realistic. And I mean, don't get me wrong. And like I said, it was a lot of leaking in the offense. Okay, we understand all that stuff, but yeah, it is hard to beat a team twice. And Georgia was hungry, and so. They had won it. We got it. But then there's the bright side about this whole thing is their story there. Now, from what I understand, is that we're more likely going to get 9 players back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's true. And listen, you're right. You definitely have to factor that in the equation without a doubt. You know what I mean? Like that is a big piece of your team when you're missing your tight end who's been a huge part of your offense. Your center's banged up. You're talking about some other guys that went down. Like I completely acknowledge that. But for me, like I just know they have some guys banged up too. I know next man up mentality and I didn't like. Yes, having those guys out, I thought made a difference. But at the same time, a lot of the other things that we were seeing in this game, some of that I couldn't sum up to okay, which because we're missing that guy. Some of it was the guys that have been playing and are playing, they're not playing at a high enough level right now. So, you know what I mean? I think it's a little bit of both. But you're right, though. I expect us to play much better football when we are much healthier, without a doubt. I do agree with that.
Yeah, and then plus I was looking and seeing some. They said a lot of players are now not going to be available on the Oklahoma defense. I heard there's a few of them that wasn't going to be available. It's something about because of entering the NFL draft or some other reason.
Mm-hmm.
And I was hearing some things about that.
I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. But I think at the end of the day, what Alabama needs to do right now is focus on what they need to do to get better as a team. I wouldn't even really, if I was the coach, I understand what you're saying, but I'm saying if I'm the coaching staff, I wouldn't even worry about who's available and who's not for those guys. I'm worrying about how do I get my team back healthy and how do we get back in a rhythm offensively? Because defensively, even though it's one of our best performance, right? Like we definitely, we were put in some bad spots. Other than that, though, like offensively, man, like that's our Achilles heel right now. That's the biggest issue, and we have to find a way to get back in a rhythm.
Yeah, because we got a very bad tooth decay on the offensive line. Because right now, because our quarterback is not good for number Blue Cross and Blue Shield. We know he don't have the protection. And that's just how it's gonna be. Because how can like I said, how if the 61 offensive line didn't block, how would Pat Trammell be able to do what he was supposed to do? That's just how it is. You can say good quarterback all you want, but if that quarterback ain't got no protection and nobody receiver to throw to, then what can he prove?
True. Yeah, no, it's definitely it's interesting to see. What we can come up with offensively to kind of get our guys back playing. Because look, we had a stretch in the middle part of the season where this offense was one of the best offenses in the country, right? Even though we had some, inconsistencies in our running game, and we were still very effective. And we have to find a way to get those guys back to playing like that. I have a feeling that having this time, we have about 2 weeks or so to get back on track, to get healthy, get everything kind of back in gear. I have a feeling that when you see Alabama play next, we're going to look like a much better football team. I'm not saying it's a guarantee. I don't know if that's going to be the case, but something tells me that this time off is going to do us really well. Because think about this. We went on a long stretch in the middle of the year. Then you come back from the bye week, and I'm not saying it was as much of a stretch, but still, you had some competitive games, and you had guys beaten up. And look, I think we just need some time off, and I think it can do us well. Not saying it's a guarantee, Super Joe, but I think that will probably have an effect on us next time we see us take the field.
Oh yeah, because like I said, we go out there and just like get a little healthier, and then we're gonna see a whole lot different Alabama team. It's just like Sugar Ray Leonard fighting Roberto Duran the first time out. He went toe to toe, which was out of his game plan. But when he fought like the real Sugar Ray that second time, Roberto Duran had to throw in the towel and say no mas. We want to make sure that Boomer Sooner is gonna feel doomed a whole lot sooner. we want to make sure that's what happened in the rematch.
That's right. Yeah, we got to make sure of something though, because it's our turn to get some get back. Georgia obviously got theirs, but it's our turn to get ours on Oklahoma, December 19th. So we're about 11 days away, something like that, man. We'll see that at that point. Hey, Super Joe, man, we got a little bit of time, and we got a couple more things we got to dive into, so we're going to keep it rolling. But I appreciate you calling in, man.
Take care, partner.
Yes, sir. Take care, man. I love his energy, man. And then his bars, man. He must be like an underground battle rapper or something. He's kind of has that vibe to him. He's got some good bars, man. All right, real quick. This is the interception, the play that you guys are definitely curious about. I know you're asking. Nice job by Georgia here, and we'll get to this point here in a second. Ty did miss something really big on this play, but Georgia's showing cover zero, which cover zero is straight up man, right? Cover one is just man coverage with free safety deep. Cover zero would be literally everybody's manned up. So it looks like they're showing some form of zero. Why? Because they've got 6 guys. They got 5 guys on line of scrimmage, 6 with the guy, if you count him in the box, that looks like he's about to show, right? So boom. As a quarterback, you're saying, hey, they're showing cover zero, right? Man across the board. We see what happens. They do similar to what Oklahoma was doing with us, right? With some of those simulated pressures where they're showing a lot of guys up front, but then they have like 2 guys drop and ends up being, that's what a simulated pressure is. It's showing you're bringing a lot of pressure, but you really end up dropping guys and you only bring about 4. That's what ends up happening. The edge, he pops, right? And then the other guy, I forgot which one it just was, but he pops. So they end up only bringing 1, 2, 3, 4 guys. But this is what happens here on this play. Again, I can't remember the down and distance. Let me see if I can go back. You know what? I'm not even going forward. I don't remember the down and distance exactly, but they pop, and we're trying to hit Horton on this over route on the back, right? You see him, right? We're trying to attack the middle part of the field, which Ty's done a really nice job of as of, as of late he hasn't, but earlier in the year, he was one of the best in the country at doing this. This is what I'm thinking, guys, because we saw him throw the pick trying to attack the middle part of the field against Eastern Illinois. He threw another one here. I think, again, you got to remember this too, guys. The more tape these guys have, like these defenses, they're going to start breaking stuff down. They know we want to we attack the middle part of the field a lot. And if you see, like against Eastern Illinois, that guy that he's like a rat player, a hole player is what we call him, he had a lot of depth. I guarantee you, and I talked about this, I guarantee you he was coached up to play with more depth, knowing that we like to hit, these route concepts in the middle of the field. You see similarly here. Initially, this safety, right, he was working with depth, but watch him kind of just naturally float back in. Look, we have three guys, right, all between the hashes. And Ty is trying to force this football there, even though, like, listen, if you move this guy out the way, yes, I mean, that's a good throw. I don't know if Ty doesn't see this player. I don't know what made him force this. The unfortunate part, and I know it's hindsight, it's 2020, but Ty completely misses the tight end with the late release. And my thing is, if you see this, all this clogged up right here early on, and he had a throw against Georgia in the first game that had a similar look, and he fitted in there. And remember, we were bragging about it. It doesn't always go your way. And really good defense by Georgia, again, showing pressure. They pop out. I mean, really, there's nowhere to throw this football except here. And if you're Ty, immediately when you see, look, that's his key. That's who he's trying to hit. If that's not there, the next progression is you start like either just throw it away, maybe even just try to scramble if you can. But really, if you know, which Ty knows this is an element of this play / the offense, we have late releases. In his head, his timing needs to say, boom, it's not there. He obviously is not going to try to hit any of these guys deep. You got this corner sitting under here, this safety over the top here, right? He should flash and go straight to boom. If he's not throwing it away, just know he has a check down here, which nobody's on this guy. I mean, this guy would be the closest guy. Well, he would technically, but they end up breaking on it. You're still going to gain probably at least at the minimum 10 yards. These are the type of things that Ty has to clean up, right? Like that doesn't have to do with like not having the running game, stuff like that. The pressure is the aspect I'm referring to with that. But this is just a decision. These are the things we've seen more about a Ty. I know somebody will say we're making excuses for him. Nobody's making excuses. I'm calling it what it is. He has a lot of pressure on him, which I think leads to some of his mistakes. This right here, maybe he's trying to force it because he feels like we need something right here. You can't do that, though, right? And he knows that. But it just you hate going back and watching saying, damn, if he would have just gone through his reads and just seen Pritchett leaking out, I mean, that's an easy completion and a complete swing because they end up, taking 7 points. We call that a potential 14-point swing. We're marching on the field. That could have been, 7 for us. Instead, it turns into 7 for them. That's a potential 14-point swing in the game. That, I mean, and you guys see that it hurts when you go and see that one guy that literally was, wide open, leaking out. But again, remember, guys, hindsight is 2020, right? So don't just go, oh, he's dumb. He didn't know. Listen, you see, before he really truly leaked out, he already made that decision, right? His hand's off the ball. He's about to let it rip. I just wish he would say, nope, I'm not forcing that. I'm either throwing it away or let me just check and see if my check down's here. Boom. But, it was what it was. Can't go back in time. But like I said, man, tape always tells the whole story, man. Numbers can lie, men lie, women lie, but tape does not lie. We got to hit timeout when we come back. We'll talk a little bit about the playoff conversation because we got one more segment to do, and I'm really curious on y'all's thoughts on that. And I know they all had some strong opinions about some of these former players with their opinions. So we'll talk a little bit about that. And don't forget, tomorrow we'll have plenty more time talking about all this stuff, SEC championship game and playoff picture, because we'll be joined by Chris Lowe, formerly of ESPN on 3 Now, Clint Lamb of Cover Crimson, Brooks Austin of the Film Room, right? Literally, we're loaded tomorrow. So make sure you guys are subscribed on here, tuning in, Tide 100.9, download that app, all that good stuff, because we got plenty more rolling at you right here on the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230, WTVC. Oh, man. All right. Was that cover 6? I'll be honest. I was trying to see exactly. It's hard to tell exactly because they're disguising, right? And what's interesting is the way they play it. It does look some type of combo coverage because you see what happens. Because one is their corner. He immediately is like a deep third player up top. And then this corner, I don't think it's cover 6. No. Is that the other corner? Wait, so one in that guy. Let's see what the corners do. Because right now they're showing cover 0. Boom, they bail. Deep third. I mean, they're almost playing it like it's I'll be honest with you, man. It's hard to exactly tell. This could be some form of it could be a form of cover 7, which they like to play a lot. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I don't know exactly the coverage they're playing. I can just tell you they end up playing with like 2 halves players up top. You got a curl flat, and you got these 3 like hook defenders. But it's not cover 2. I mean, even though it kind of, I'll be honest, I'm not even going to try to listen. That's Kirby's defense for you, man. Like if you watch defenses from guys like Kirby and Brent Venables, when they do a lot of different things, whether it's combo coverage or stuff like that, sometimes it's hard, even for as somebody like me, played within the system, it's hard to completely identify exactly what guys are running because those types of coordinators, man, they'll throw some shit at you, which is what they did here. I mean, they show one thing and then the coverage is completely different. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm going to text somebody and ask them about that. It's a good question, though. Well, because it's like it might be some type of like because look, I mean, basically the corners are the deep half players with the safeties playing underneath. You see what I'm saying? So it's a very interesting concept, but nonetheless, man, great concept. But it's very, stuff like that is what Oklahoma was doing to us, and it gave us a lot of problems too. So best believe you're going to keep seeing a lot of stuff like this. Show them pressure up front, guys popping out, taking away all the underneaths, and you got a lot of guys playing over the top, man. It's just not many places you can go. All right, quick screen to Ryan. Like, I thought we should have leaned a little bit more into this, especially knowing UJ was bringing pressure, right? They're being a little aggressive. Sorry, I'm going to skip through some of this because we don't have a bunch of time. And don't worry, maybe I'll get Slade to jump on here tonight or something. We can just do like a stream, like, and just literally just break down tape. Because we clearly don't have enough time to do everything during the show. If you guys want us to do something like that, let me know. We could set that up. Since we'll be jam-packed tomorrow. And welcome back into the Miller's Edge, Top 100.9, 1230 WTBC, presented by the Good Feet Store, America's Arch Support Experts. We got to talk a little bit about the playoffs, which will do that. I'll keep the tape up here and we'll kind of skip through it. But I want to mention this because I'm just curious y'all's thoughts. And I wanted to talk about it briefly while we have one last segment here for today. But again, if you guys are new, you're hanging around, whatever, make sure you guys subscribe. That way you stay up to date. Make sure you guys download Top 100.9 app. We do this Monday through Friday, 11 to 1. So this isn't just like some hey, we're just hopping on here, just doing a stream. Make sure you guys stay up to date and follow us on all social media platforms at the Miller's Edge. That said, all right, talking real quick about the playoff picture. Alabama, in fact, gets in the playoffs. Matter of fact, they don't even move at all, right? Alabama stayed at number 9 despite getting beat down by Georgia in the SEC championship game. This is what I'll say about it, guys. Was I shocked that we made the playoffs? No, because I felt strongly, and this is what me and Gray talked about on our postgame show. If they made the decision to take Alabama out of it, you're setting the precedent up that teams can be penalized for playing in the conference championship game. But it's really interesting. If you go back, I mean, like Georgia lost in the SEC championship game. They moved back a few spots. I remember at one point, like, it seems like this committee just like everything is always shuffling around or changing this and that. It's all over the place at times. But this was my thing. Even after we got beat 28-7 by Georgia, I still felt like because of that, you can't. Alabama did not deserve to be punished for playing an extra game. That is true. However, I did think in the back of my head, well, we did just show them the last time that they saw us play a football game before they went to the meeting room and made that decision. We got beat down 28-7 by Georgia. A team that, yes, we went on the road and beat in their backyard. A lot of people do feel like that might have been the best win of the college football season. However, the last time they saw you with the eye test, you get beat down bad. So I was a little concerned that maybe that could have some influence, but ultimately it didn't. Alabama comes in at number 9. We get matched up with Oklahoma. We get granted our rematch. We know we've, kind of been eyeing that potentially, knowing that they got to sit at home and they were automatically going to be in the playoffs regardless of what happened this past weekend because they didn't have to play an extra game. And that's why it wouldn't have been fair if Alabama was punished. That said, let me just say this because I know, and I don't have enough time to play the clips. I know people are really mad at, even Mark Ingram, people love Mark Ingram, but he came out and he said he didn't think Alabama deserved to make it after getting beat like that. And I know Damian Harris really had some strong reactions to us and, the whole playoff picture. I'll say this. I know people are saying, oh, well, they're just being emotional. I don't think they're being emotional. I think when you watch the game, like from like a former player perspective, like we're watching it, and I'm not saying it's like, oh, so we're watching it a better way than y'all. I'm just telling us, just being honest. We're not watching it from we're watching it from a space of like the inner workings of the game, right? Like that's why y'all come and ask me all these questions about what's going on, right? That's how we're programmed. So when you watch what we've been putting on tape, I would argue it wasn't just about what happened in the SEC championship game. I think it's more so if you're really honest with yourself about how Alabama has looked over the last 4 or 5 games, it has not looked great. Like, I think we can agree on that, right? Like let's take the crimson glasses off and let's just be honest. I'm not trying to come to bat for my B-Side 5 brothers. I'm just being honest. We have not looked great. However, I do feel like given all the criteria, we deserved, without a doubt, to be in the college football playoffs. I think 2 things can be true. I think it just depends on what you put more into, right? If you lean more into the eye test and on like a football level of, hey, man, what teams, are good football teams, like I understand certain ways of seeing things. Our resume, without a doubt, we deserve to be in there. I mean, like nobody can deny that. Out of all the quote unquote bubble teams, we clearly had the best resume. Like there's no debating that. However, if I was part of a committee and I'm sitting here and I'm saying, well, let me look at, the field right now. I know Notre Dame's schedule is trash. I know, their resume isn't nearly what ours is. But watching how they're playing football right now, and even Coach Saban and others said the same thing, they look like a playoff team as well. Unfortunately, since they don't have a conference that they belong to and they don't have a strong resume, it worked against them. And I'm not complaining that they're not in, but I just wish there was a way we could have these other teams or all of us in, right? And not have no disrespect to JMU or the small schools, the Group of 5, Tulane and whatnot. It's just, to me, I mean, you look at like Notre Dame and Jeremiah Love and how they're playing right now. I would much rather them be in the spot that Tulane's in. So let me be clear, because I don't want people adding me to the list of former players in the media that y'all are like exiling. Don't exile. Hey, listen, Alabama deserved to be in the playoffs, because when you include the resume, strength of schedule, right, the wins, all that good stuff, Alabama, without a doubt, deserves to be in the playoffs. I'm not arguing that. But what I will say is the way we've played really offensively the past 4 or 5 weeks, just call it for what it is, man. It is concerning when you look at this Alabama football team and try to picture them having a chance to really go all the way. That's just me being completely transparent. And I love Bama. I want Bama to win. But I'm just going to be honest with you. If we don't clean things up offensively, and I think anybody who takes the glasses off would agree, if we don't fix things offensively, we're probably not going to win a national championship. I mean, we didn't have things fixed offensively. We just played a really good Georgia team who is in the playoffs, and you saw what happened. now, take Indiana, take Ohio State, some of these other teams that also still have that ability to match up like that. We have to make some changes. But like I mentioned before with Super Joe, I think some time off, getting some guys healthy, I think that will do us well, and hopefully we can, play a little bit better offensively for sure. Special teams, I mean, we got to be better. And the reason I'm saying special teams, I know you're like, well, Talty didn't kick it. Listen, I'm not talking about that. I'm saying like punt coverage. Like look at Georgia and like where they fielded the football, right? I mean, like we got to be better in all phases in terms of special teams. Reed, Chase, you guys have any thoughts real quick? I know we got about like 1 minute left on that whole deal. I know we're all excited about the rematch against Oklahoma, but was there anything surprising to you? I mean, I know we didn't really mention, but Miami did switch spots with Notre Dame. To me, I think the committee, they're kind of all over the place. They're trying to make it seem like, oh, well, because they weren't next to each other, we didn't really have to do the head-to-head thing yet. But I was like, why does that you still should have probably figured that in like 4 or 5 weeks ago. But real quick, y'all have any thoughts real quick?
No, I think you pretty much just said what I was going to mention about the whole Miami Notre Dame situation. I think waiting until the final official bracket to do it was kind of sketchy a little bit. And then outside of that, really surprised we didn't drop to 10 instead of 9. I was more expecting because I like how Ohio State dropped back 1, even though that game was a lot closer. I get because that was the first matchup between Indiana and Ohio State, and we kind of split the series with Georgia. I would have at least expected us to drop 1, but I mean the matchup I think is going to be great. If we just limit the turnovers against Oklahoma, which of course we're looking ahead, but I think we got a good bid though.
I do too. I think looking at that matchup, we know we've played Oklahoma before, and you take out those turnovers. I think we bode well playing against the Oklahoma team. It's not going to be easy, but I think that's a solid matchup. But then Indiana, I think some fans are a little, kind of overlooking them. They're a good football team. They're number 1 seed for a reason. But listen, you got to take it one day at a time, one step at a time, and we'll worry about Oklahoma first. But I do think out of all the spots, it probably ended up working a little bit in our favor. That'll do it for us here on this Monday edition. Don't forget, again, tomorrow we got Chris Lowe, we got Clint Lamb of Cover Crimson, we got Brooks Austin, the Film Guy Network, all tomorrow right here on the Miller's Edge. So make sure you guys subscribe. Make sure you guys are tuning in to Tide 100.9, all that good stuff at the Miller's Edge. And we'll see you guys then right here at Tide 100.9, 1230, WTBC.
You've been listening to the Miller's Edge, tackling sports daily.
All right. Any last questions on the stream before I get out of here? I know we still got a number of people in here. I just want to, I know I missed a lot of stream things. Appreciate you guys. Chase, Reed, appreciate you guys behind the glass, man. Because I know I got this tape pulled up. I can stay here for a couple more minutes if you guys want to see anything on tape specifically, but if not, we'll save it for tomorrow. All these damn claps, man. We just got to see that quicker. I mean, we're locked up everywhere except the flats. This is like in terms of timing, this is what we mean by Todd needs to speed things up. Will you post some of you and Slay Go Live? Yeah, I can. I'm going to text him. I haven't talked to him. I know he might be out of town still, but I'll definitely try to do that. Just gotta go through this quicker, man. Flats are open. Just take them. Instead, we end up getting nothing. You know what I mean? Like that tie's got to be quicker here. Boom. Like if it's, and again, I don't know his exact read, but I can just tell you, if it's any of these guys, hell, it's all taken up. That's Georgia for you, man. Matching those patterns. That's what they want, and they want you to dump it off short. That's why they're playing it deep to short like that, but we don't even get the chance to. You see it too late and end up just throwing it away. There we go. We take it then. Or try to. It gets batted down. See a theme here, man. They gave us some opportunities in the flats. Trying to throw it to a guy that's bracketed, man. I mean, nothing there again. But you see a late checkdowns, man. That's why I'm just saying. I think at some point you just have to if you're tied, just take those, man. Just take these late checkdowns. Bama bashing's bad here in Atlanta. You mean by fans or by like other schools fans? If Ty tries to avoid the middle red too much, just throw it a couple feet from. Despite the fact that Bama usually beats Georgia, it's the way we lost. Are you talking about like everybody? That's why everybody's talking about Bama. Well, I hate to say it, but I mean, when you go out and you play like that, I mean, like you're subject to. All right, we got some run plays here. You're subject to criticism. I mean, I hate to say it, but that's why a lot of former players were kind of ticked off. I mean, like, you lose a game, you lose a game. But when you go out and you just get your ass whooped like that, man, it's a little frustrating. Same type of deal we saw earlier, that split zone action. I'm trying to see who's supposed to. I just don't understand. Oh, he's a backside backer. Let me see who else is on the. Let me see the backside real quick. Georgia's running a little bit of a run stunt. Nobody on the backside backer. Try and get Ryan the ball this time. They're ready for it. It's a good job by this guy, who I don't even know if he's supposed to be reading like that, because normally a defensive end is taught. I mean, as soon as they block down, he's supposed to close, which the way this play is designed, expecting this guy to close down because his keys tell him to close down, which if he does that, Ryan's got a lot of grass. He just naturally, I don't know if he knew what was coming or what, but that messed up the whole play. But if I had to guess the reason he's playing like that, he probably was dropping in coverage. They probably had him dropping in coverage, and that's why he was playing off like that. Now we're trying to work the flat, so I guarantee they probably were looking up top. People with the bird's eye view are probably saying, hey, man, they've been leaving the flats open. Let's try to work the flats. Try to do that here. Bad pass by Ty, man. Got to make those throws. You got to have those. I mean, there's no pressure, no anything. I mean, that's a layup. You can't, like Smitty says, man, you got to take the layups. I was worried about his knee on that one. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. That's the half. We'll leave it right there. We'll save the other half for tomorrow. Unless y'all have any specific questions. I got the Georgia offense stuff too. Like this year's version of Bama will damage the brand in the playoffs. Bama should be made their quit. But we haven't really been that type of team this whole year. We haven't really been like a make you quit team. We've been like a, hey, we're going to play well, but not enough to get up on anybody. We're going to, we're going to win football games, but we're not going to, run away with it. We're going to let you stay in the game. That's kind of been our whole identity this year. What should Grubb's game plan be when OU shows pressure? When they show pressure or when they're running pressure? Here's my thing. I mean, one of the best ways to neutralize pressure, we always talk about it, quick screens, stuff like that, right? Hitting the perimeter, you know what I mean? So you just got to be ready for that stuff. But the thing about Oklahoma is if you go back and watch, they're not like Oklahoma, like they're bringing pressure, but a lot of times they're showing a lot more and they're actually bringing, and that's what makes it tough because they'll show 6 guys, all up on the line of scrimmage. Then they drop 2 as, they got one guy, cutting one, the other guy is a whole rat player taking away the underneath, whether it's a curl, taking away, the mesh, like that. They do a good job of that stuff. So that's where you have to kind of say, all right, like as a quarterback, you just got to really study and understand the things that they're going to be doing, trying to take away some of the underneaths and what might be there. And at the end of the day, I think where the growth comes in is you understand, like if something's not there, just get rid of it, throw it away, live to see another day. What I don't understand is why we don't, not why we don't, but why Ty doesn't scramble a little bit more. I mean, Ty is a good athlete. Like I'm telling you, like even just scrambling as a quarterback has an effect on a defense, because when it happens is when guys are in coverage, when you're giving that threat of that you can take off and run, what does it do to the defenders that are out in coverage? You guys know this. They start coming off their coverage. They see you kind of start working like you're about to start to scramble. They start working off. That's why defensively we call it plastering, right? Plaster your defender, meaning like quarterback scrambling, don't bite the cheese. Plaster your defender, because what happens is naturally you want to start coming off to go, meet the quarterback, make a tackle. I think if Ty just scrambled more, like that alone would help open some more things up. Are y'all following what I'm saying? But because he doesn't scramble at all and nobody's worried about him taking off, everybody's just plastering their man because he just sits there and he's trying to find that perfect throw. You know what I mean? Like I think he just needs to just like be a football player, man. Like you're an athlete. Rolling them out here. I mean, Georgia just plays that well. Boot action. Nice job by 27, man. Closing that gap. Boom. Nowhere. Good defense. Let's see what we got here. Play action. Georgia's bringing 6. They're bringing a blitz. Let's see how they're playing this. Whoa, hold on. How did we get here? Daniel Hill and blitz pick up, but we got Proctor just got walked back. So whoever that is in Ty's lap ASAP. But see what I mean? Like these deep developing routes. I mean, look at this. I mean, you got 4 guys releasing, right? The late guy, obviously the tight end. We do that probably every down, which that might just need to be our game plan, man. Just spam the late releases by the tight ends. I mean, is that Meadows down there? He's strapped. I mean, hell, you don't have the time because you're facing pressure. I mean, the routes are so long developing, which, I mean, this is clearly a play you're trying to take a shot, which, I mean, sometimes, again, that opens up, especially when you're getting pressure like that. I know they're later, but again, like I said earlier, bro, they just had us strapped. Everybody's strapped. I mean, other than the late release, but by then, Ty's got pressure in his face. Look at the back. Yeah, he caught Proctor by surprise. I guess. I don't know. Proctor just got walked like a dog. Damn near tripped Ty up. Good athleticism for Ty to stay up. And he's just running for his life. Plays dead before he even got started. They bring a pressure. Was that 5? Somebody pop out. Yep. See, this is, and like I said, this is the type of stuff you see out of Oklahoma, a lot of it. And you see what he's doing. This is what we call cutting, right? So when you guys hear me say cutting somebody, that's what he's doing. See how he's not dropping to a landmark? Who is he? He's looking for 3, right? See his eyes? He's literally, it's called cutting 3. Boom. As he's turning and running. That's why I was saying about like matching patterns and cutting stuff. This isn't like, oh, he just spot dropping and reading. Like, no, they're taking shit away. So that's why you see him trailing it. Like, think about it. If he was just spot dropping, Ty would end up killing this across the middle. But this is the type of stuff that these defenses are doing to start taking more away from us. And I'm telling you, this is why the passing game has started to struggle a little bit. Because, I mean, look, normally you would see Ty hit that across the middle, but Georgia, man, they're going to match patterns. And it ends up turning into a form of quote-unquote man with 2 of the top defenders. There's nowhere to go. Boom, that safety's biting down on Ryan right there. He ends up being quote-unquote bracketed. And by then, the pressure gets home. That's damn good defense, man. Like there's nothing else you can really say other than damn good defense. See how the pressure gets home, though. I hate being this guy, but I'm just being completely honest with you guys, man. Like Daniel Hill is 245 pounds. Like I know he ends up getting the job done, but like just turning in like bro, I just don't like the like that. Just that like again, I'm not saying I'm perfect or I was perfect as a player. I'm just like, man, like as big as you are, like you got to take it to them, man. And I know that's tough. He's taking on a big linebacker coming at him. I'm not saying it's easy, but as big as he is, man, I would love to see him just violently go take that on. I mean, it works. I mean, he blocks him. 20 slips in there late. It's a good job, man. And here's the other thing. Here's another coaching point. Let's say he does stay head on instead of turn his arm or turn his head and turn his shoulder. Maybe, just maybe, he's able to redirect a little bit better because he might see this guy, periff this guy, and at least kind of clip him a little bit. I'm not saying he's going to, get the block perfect because he's a late add-on. But you see what I'm saying? But when you kind of turn your head and turn your shoulder, he has no chance of even seeing this guy. Even though, again, this guy is, again, the way he ran this path is really nice, right? He showed outside, then boom, cuts in. I mean, it's smart. I'm not saying it's easy, but it's like little details like that. He has no chance of even like seeing that and trying to just lay out or something because he's turning his shoulder, trying to brace for contact. So, I mean, again, really good defense, though. I'm just nitpicking on like what coaches would be telling these guys. We got pin and pull right here, right? So what I talked about earlier, I told you guys, pin and pull has been probably one of our better run plays that we've been using, right? And it's what they used a lot at Washington. We see it right here. Ends up going for a nice gain. Good to see Danny Lewis back in there. Golly, all these damn pre-snap. Come on, Ty. You getting not only are you taking time with the clock, you're gonna get us all the issues with the damn. Not even gonna say the word because the last time I said it ended up doing something. Pin and pull, right? Pin in the end. You got Bernard pinning this guy right here, this outside backer, pulling Caden Proctor, pulling Brailsford. Right? This is probably our most successful run play that we have right now. Good job by AK Deer. But again, what do you see happens? And I know every play, defenses are good players. They're going to shed blocks. But what do you see? Remember we talked about earlier, guys getting on blocks. This and that on this one, you just have a good. Actually, no. Brailsford was supposed to take him. Brailsford was supposed to try to fight his way through, but it's tough. I mean, you got traffic in there, but if Brailsford found a way to climb right there, I mean, it ends up being probably a little bit more, but safety's coming down. So, again, not nitpicking, guys. It's how coaches break stuff down, man. Let's see. Hill is similar size to Eddie Lacy. Eddie Lacy would have been ran over several defenders. Okay, so this is a bust on the freshman back by AK right here. I know some people are like, oh, Ty just gave up. To me, I think it's about how you look at this. I think it's perspective. On one end, you could sit there and say, oh, well, he gave up on the play. On another, I think that's showing some growth of saying, hey, I'm accepting defeat, which I know you guys are like, oh, why would you do that? Well, because the play is dead. Number one, a lot of quarterbacks do. I mean, because it's going nowhere. I mean, you got this guy. I mean, he could try to put his foot in the ground, cut up. Yeah, but I think sometimes, man, instead of trying to make a bad play worse, just take the L. That's how I viewed it. I didn't view it as him not being. I know some people are like, oh, we're done with him now. I mean, look, it's not his fault. It's the back's fault. Look at the back. The back doesn't know his job, but that comes with playing, true freshman guys that haven't played much. So just got to take the L on that one. This false start. Oh, yeah, this is when he got hit. I mean, did anybody even say anything to him? I'm just nobody even said anything. I'm not saying get a dumb penalty, but like 1, 2, 3, 4. I get you help them up, but I mean like nobody checked them, said anything. Again, don't push them, don't get a penalty, but like no one said anything. I don't know, man. That was just kind of crazy to me. Yeah, I think DeBoer was yelling for a flag, but I'm just saying, like, as players, like, that's your guy. I'm not saying that Georgia dude was, like, trying to hurt him. It was definitely was, he knew what he was doing, but, like, still, I think, especially as an offensive line, it's your quarterback, man. Like, that's where we sailed it out of bounds, or no? Like we said earlier, man, flats said, they're giving up those. They were inviting us to take the flats. I mean, you see how they're playing. Look at this. I'm telling you, man, people watch tape. They know where we have been attacking people across the middle of the field, and they said, we're not letting that happen. We'll give them those short, flat routes, dumping it off, but we're going to take away the middle of the field like they have been taking advantage of the whole year. And you see the difference. This is why. I mean, look how they're covering this. Sticky covers down here, no separation, no separation. I ain't gonna lie, they strapped our receivers up, man. Got play action. Another long developing concept here. Trying to get a stop and go up here, which damn, stop and go worked. By now, we're already getting the ball out, which is the right idea, but the throw doesn't give it an opportunity. Now, to be fair, he had pressure in his face, but who is that? Formby? You got to finish blocks, man. That's one of our biggest problems is just not finishing blocks. Love these film breakdowns. Yeah, my bad. I wish I would go more in depth too. I didn't even know you guys were all still hanging on here like that. We just finished the radio. Have they lost faith in them? No, they haven't. No, they haven't lost faith in them. Let's see what we got here. Georgia's running the stunt. Looks like they're looping, right? They got this end looping to the A gap. You see what I'm saying, though, about finishing, though? Like, look. See Vandermark? Again, not saying that's the only issue, but, like, that's tough. I mean, you got a looper, but it's enough. But then you see Vandermark. I mean, like, Vandermark has a, opportunity. He gets hands on the guy. He's got his block, but he just lets him go. See what we got here. Working the flats. I think it's when he stepped out. Unfortunate. The really like the only thing we really had going offensive was the flats this game, pretty much. Which that was Georgia's game plan. They're taking away the deep part, middle part of the field. They just play some damn good defense. Got a blitz here. Got tight end leaking late, man. Again, that's about all we had. Look at everything else. Strapped. Probably could squeeze that if you want to, but you got to see it, man. The only thing we really had open was backs and tight ends to the flat. And I'm pretty sure now that I've watched it again, I could confidently say that was definitely Georgia's game plan. Georgia went into this game knowing they're going to give up some yards there. Yeah, we might be able to come back on tonight. Let me see if I'll check Slate's schedule. Sorry, my dog is trying to get my attention. Hold on. Watch a few more plays real quick. Start with trips bunch to the field. That's considered a bunch because of tight splits. Get a 2x2. Again, those chip and late releases, man. I mean, if that's what they're giving you, that's what they're giving you. But you see, I mean, take what the defense gives you, man. Let's see what we got here. Got 2x2. So let me see what defense. This is similar to what Oklahoma was playing, a very similar defense to this when we played them, right? 3 deep defenders like this, 3 deep safeties, this concept. So it's interesting to see Georgia's using it too. You saw that a lot out of Oklahoma, not just with us, but even throughout the year. But this is just zone defense right here. Taking the check down. But again, I mean, listen, I know if you look at it, really all our completions were a bunch of check downs and late releases, but that's called taking what the defense gives you. And if you're picking up 5, 6, 7, 8 yards, we'll take that every time. It's an extension of the running game. We got bunch FIB formation to the boundary at the bottom, which Grubb likes a lot. We run a lot of FIB. Trying to hit this wheel route, but again, I mean that I'm glad he did not throw that, because that would have been to the crib. CJ Allen would have picked that off. I guarantee that would have been a pick. He didn't really see him because he's running behind this. You guys see the concept here. You got a pick by Bernard right here trying to hit the tight end wheel. Like, I like the concept, but I'm honestly kind of glad he did not throw that, because that did not look like it was going to end well. Let's see what happened up front. Bringing 9. Like I told you, man, they're going to bring these backers. End up bringing 5. Wait, who's? Oh, I remember this. So what are we supposed to do here? Typically, the rule is you always take the nearest threat. So whoever's close to quote unquote the ball is going to be considered the nearest threat, right? This is tough on freshman Michael Carroll. I'll be honest, it's tough on him. The problem is it looks like we're going slide protection to the field. So he has no help. So he passes this off like he's supposed to have help, because we're all sliding, right? Everybody's going to slide to the field right here. I know he has the back working back with him. So to me, in this, at least with this, if that's what they're doing on the offensive line, I mean, I don't know how it took Daniel Hill that long to register that. Like, okay, maybe not at first, but like, boom. I just feel like you should periff that this guy is coming clean right here. Even like you see this late reaction. Again, not trying to be nitpicky. We're just breaking down tape, right? Instead, you see a last second, and I mean, that's too late by then, which again, he might have saved us because it looked like it was probably going to be a pick. So, I mean, definitely an error between these two guys. I mean, again, that's why I said, I mean, a lot of this comes down to execution, guys. I mean, Georgia's a really good football team. There's no denying that. But as you guys can see, while they do, like, again, just like Oklahoma, I gave them credit. I'll give Georgia credit. They did their part. Sticky coverage, getting pressure. Like, they play some damn good defense. Physical. There's a lot on the tape that we're watching that is showing up that we're saying, look, this is bad execution on our part. We're making their job easy. If they slide on wide receiver chip. No, they had the concept they're basically running like a pick with Bernard, and they had 81 on a wheel route. So there was no chip on that one. But that's why I was saying, if they're sliding like that, that's an error between the tackle and the back, because literally there's 2-on-2. But the back didn't see him, or I guess, or I don't know what he was looking at. Got trips bunch to the field. Same thing we've seen. Like, late releases by the tight end, which people don't want to hear this, but I'm just going to be honest. I know everybody runs like, oh, well, our numbers are much better, in pass pro. And like I said, like while we are playing better with our line, I give them credit. A lot of it too is contributed to we've been having chippers in there like the whole year helping our tackles out a bunch, which you see here. I mean, it's just frustrating watching this because it's just a matter of like the smallest details, man. Like he's got to be more physical on this, right? I mean, like it's almost like a tight end screen. That's pretty much what this is, right? That's the concept of this. So I get it. Like he's not really trying to full-fledged block him, but because he really doesn't effectively do it, he just lets the guy theoretically just run by him. That guy blows the play up. Now, so again, the reason I'm pointing stuff out is because it's like there's a lot of, oh, Grubb. And while there were some things that I definitely also think, Grubb should have been better with, like this call and this design here is actually, I mean, you see what if he makes this catch, you make one guy, which he does, right? But let's just say it worked out how it actually was supposed to work out. He still would have had a really nice game. It still would have been pretty much the same result, just much, much more fluid. Is it chipping when you push them towards the quarterback past the tackle? Probably not. It's probably more like an assist. Probably more like an assist, man, than a chip. Playing for another team. No, I'm not. I can't say that on here because I can't use the word. But Coach Saban he used to kill me, bro. He used to say, like when you're screwing up or you do something, you're playing for the other team. He used to call you. I can't say it on here. Basically, it was like the name of like a group that like our military forces have fought overseas in like the middle region of the world. He used to call you that. And it's not funny, but it's like it's funny the way him using it just was funny because it's like out of all people, like it just sounds so weird hearing him say that, and the way he said it was just hilarious. 2x2, literally just all comebacks, all hooks. Just trying to dump it off, seeing what we can get. I'm not going to knock that because I just said earlier, take what the defense gives you. They just played it well that time. All right, I know I said a few more plays. We'll see. Trying to work the flat again. I mean, that was a common theme, right? Like they were willing to give up those dumps to the flat. And so you see Ryan Grubb, he's trying to take advantage of these things, right? He stopped trying to force stuff downfield at this point in the game. We're in the third quarter because now this was what adjustments are about, and you're seeing that in real time as we watch this. I mean, they realize there's a lot of opportunities underneath in the flat, so we've seen a lot more plays designated to that. Boom, trying to get it out there and complete. Even though, I mean, they're breaking on that, so you're just hoping you break a tackle right there. See if anything else would have been there. They end up bringing 6. I mean, hell, you honestly probably could have ended up hitting Bernard there, but again, I get it. Play design, just trying to dump it quick. I almost thought this was a screen the way we gave up pressure so quick. I think this is where Ryan dropped that touchdown. Oh, no. It's a pass interference. I'm sorry. So I'm trying to see what they're running on the back end real quick. Looks like man. Just playing man coverage. I mean, God, man, we gotta find a way to take the top off the defense. I mean, which we're doing right here, but then we don't protect. Yeah, pretty much, guys. Yeah, you guys are in the chat. Yeah, I just don't. If you heard the way he said it just sounded so funny, man. Like, because he'd be all animated, and get mad about it. I'm like, oh, chill, bro. Like, but you see, though, I mean, God, if we could find a way to hit some explosives like this, we don't think about this, guys. We don't really take the top off the defense much. Really don't. We try to get the pass interference, which is right. Let's see what happened with the protection. It's on Vandermark. Well, really, both those guys. I mean, like, there just has to be like again, it's execution. But what bothers me though is like pre-snap, man. Let me see if they communicate. They're communicating right now. But you just have to know. I mean, like, we're not passing stuff off, right? I mean, I don't know why we wouldn't pass that off. Just bad execution. Get the pass interference though, so we'll take it. Wait, whoa, I forgot about this. What happened here? Sure, we should have had that because he undercut that route. Playing looks like cover 4 here. Tries to undercut that. Man, we damn near had that. Let's see what happened with the protection. So they're literally working like a late ET game, right? You see how that develops? Normally, this guy's supposed to go in there like 2 steps, crash down, pick that hip. But the way they're doing it is interesting. He's holding off on him for the late exchange and gets a little bit of pressure on Ty. Oh, this is a one Ryan drop. Shooting both backers on the A gap, so you know what you're getting. That means you got man coverage without a doubt. Boom. Great throw by Ty, just to get it out, knowing he got pressure right there, throwing off his back foot, man. That's the thing. I mean, I know Ty hadn't been playing great, but some of these things he's doing still, I mean, there's some good throws in here. I mean, that's about as good as it gets in terms of placement, man. Ryan just gotta find a way to come up with that. I know we talk about the whole slot thing. That this ain't that. This is him on the outside. This is what we saw him do so well last year, man. Like, remember the one against Vanderbilt? High pointed, right? Man. You got to have that, Ryan. Hey, look, I'm not saying it's easy. It's good coverage. Right? He gets a hand in his face. Listen, I mean, that's good defense, but man, I feel like last year Ryan is making those. Yeah, I think it's a touchdown. We'll end on this one. Nice concept here. Right? We've been showing, hey, sending guys on those quick flat routes, boom, working them out there, bring them back in for a screen. I like that design there. Good job making a guy miss. Touchdown. All right, we ran through a lot of tape, so hopefully they don't try to hit us with any of the copy stuff. But man, as you guys saw, man, a lot of missed execution, some damn good defense on their part. Up front, a number of issues in this game with their offensive line. Guys not being able to get separation, right? It's just not a great performance offensively. We'll watch some defensive tape tomorrow. I want to pull that up tomorrow for sure. I'm not going to do it right now, but if we hop on here with Slade tonight, I'll put out a tweet. Make sure you guys follow us on X at the Miller's Edge, and make sure you guys, if you haven't subscribed, and before we go, got to ask one last time. I'm sure people are going to leave when I say it. Just hit that like button. It always helps us out. That just helps push the algorithm, all that. Show us some love. We'll take it. I feel like it was crazy. I feel like they don't show us a lot of love on here sometimes, man, on our YouTube. So I'm trying to get our stuff pushed out better. So we always appreciate that. And yeah, if there's anything specific you want us to look at and break down, you can always tweet us too and let me know. And I can try to look at that specifically. Thanks for the extra time. Appreciate it. Hey, thank you, Phil, with the $4.99 super chat, man. Of course, brother. Of course. I'm gonna get me some lunch now, but thank you, man. We'll definitely keep them coming y'all's way. Like I said, we got plenty lined up tomorrow. So we got Chris Lowe, we've got the film guy coming on tomorrow, and we've got Clint Lamb. So make sure you guys are here tomorrow because like the whole show, we've got heat. We'll be talking Alabama, Georgia, SEC championship game, playoff stuff, a number of things. So big thanks to Phil, man, with the $4.99 super chat, man. Big thanks to you, Phil. I'm trying to think of what else I wanted to say before we got out of here. Can't even remember, but we'll keep breaking down tape too, and I'll let you guys know if we come back on tonight and watch some more with Slade or something. But if there's any, that's the other thing. If there's any specific players you want us to try to get on the show, let us know because they have a lot of downtime, right? So we probably will be able to get another player or two on the show. So if there's anybody specifically that you guys want to hear from, either just drop them in the comments or tweet us or whatever it is. But I don't know if we could I kind of want to see if they'll finally let us get Ty on here. Again, Ty wants to come on here, but they act funny about the quarterbacks. We got another super chat from Ebony. Big thanks to Ebony with the $4.99 super chat. Match and Phil, great show always. Thank y'all so much, man. I appreciate that. Hey, lunch on y'all today, I guess. I'm just playing. No, but no, seriously, thank you guys so much, man. I appreciate it. That means a lot. Like I said, all the support we get on here, man, I put it all back in the show. That's why you see me. I've been working on the backgrounds. I've been working on all the production stuff. I'm working on trying to get plenty more, as you see. I mean, I'm getting guest after guest, man. I'm putting all this back in the show. That's my goal. I said going into this next year. I appreciate it. I wasn't trying to call for all y'all drop all these super chats, but thank y'all. But just know it's going all back in the show, man. Production, all that stuff. But thank you so much, Ebony. Big thanks to Ebony, man. Ebony and Phil and now Joshua too. Joshua Long with the $4.99 super sticker, man. Thank y'all so much. Seriously. Big thanks to all you guys for the support. And thanks to everybody too, not just for the super chats, but thank you for hanging out, man. It's always fun. Always fun. Seriously, thank y'all so much, man. But yeah, let me know if there's anybody. I see anybody but Damian Harris. Really? Come on, man. No, listen. I'm gonna get Damian on here, but I just want him on here to just I'm gonna ask him about his thoughts. I'm gonna dive into a little bit. Somebody said somebody heard him when he was here. Maybe we'll ask him that. I'm just playing. Lawson, Hubbard, Parker, or Ryan. I could definitely get Deontay on here probably really soon too. Bray and Deontay will be easy. I don't know Parker as well, but I could definitely line it up. Ryan, we try to get Ryan on here. I mean, I don't know if he's going to be really down to be doing a whole bunch of media stuff right now, but I know Ryan too. I mean, I can text him and see. All right, I'll keep those in mind. So y'all want Ryan, Deontay, Bray, Parker. Favorite Bama linebacker? Oh, man, I appreciate that. Ain't no way, though, man. As many dogs we had? Nah, I'm just playing. No, thank you so much, man. Seriously. Love to hear from Damian. Yeah, I think it would be interesting to get Damian on here, Ebony. I really do. I mean, I know a lot of people have some beef with him right now, but I guess we could at least kind of get his again, because I mean, I'm all about hearing different perspectives. Maybe there's I understand from like an eye test perspective. I understand why he feels strongly because we just offensively we have not looked good. But I mean, he was standing on. I mean, I want to see what he has seen out of Notre Dame that makes him feel like they're that much better. I think they're playing a little bit better football right now, at least in some aspects. But Jalen Hurts, it'd be hard because he's in the middle of his season. When they finish up, I can definitely try to get him on here. Jalen's like my little brother when he's here. Maybe some edge guys. That'll be a good one. That's a good. All right, so let me write these down on my phone so I don't forget. I feel like we could get probably Quay or Yanze on here. Let's see. So we got Ryan, Parker. Who is it? Bray, Deontay, Rousseau, Pierre. All right. Jefferson, Hill Green. So basically, I want to hear from some linebackers. That's what you were thinking. You wanted to hear more on what he said. Yeah, he's got people hot right now, man. He does. Get it past her pain. Man, I hadn't talked to that dude in a minute. I mean, I guess he's just been busy, but he'll probably definitely hop back on here. I mean, listen, if we get him on here after the way we just played now, he's going to speak his truth. So just be prepared. If he does jump on here, he's going to he's going to tell it how he sees it, just so y'all know. Linebackers. Bet I'll work on that. Matter of fact, let's do it right now. That way I'm going to hold it to it. Y'all going to hold me to it. I'm going to text him right now. I'm going to say, hey man, these are my listeners want these guys. Make it happen. Line them up. Let's see. All right, I just texted them over there. So I put it in their ear. I'm trying to get somebody on here, at least one this week. So we'll do that. Tomorrow we're packed. Wednesday, I'll get Gray Robertson back on here. We'll talk the playoff picture with him a little bit. Maybe we'll try to get Roman Harper on here this week too. Pate used to come on here, and then he's blown up. So he's Mr. Big Time. So it's hard to, squeeze it in his schedule. Promote it too. Yeah, no, for sure. I definitely. Hey, you guys always can help us promote stuff too, man. If you guys have any social media platform, always feel free, man. Share the videos and all that good stuff. That always helps us out. We're going to keep it growing. Trust me. My goal is, man, going into next year, I really want to try to really like lean into getting like as many like former guys on here, like a lot of sports personalities, really just building the platform up, man. Building it up. So you guys can help us with that, man. It only makes the content better. You guys can help us with that, man. Always liking, sharing, pushing stuff, all that good stuff helps. But I'm gonna grab some lunch. Again, thank you so much, Joshua, Ebony, and Phil for the super chat / stickers, man. I appreciate you guys, and really just thank you guys for always hanging out, supporting us here on the show, man. Going on 3 years now with our radio show, and then obviously on here. It's been we were on here like a year ago for a little bit, then came back. So, yeah. So appreciate everybody that's been with us, new to us, all that good stuff, man. Which linebacker plays somewhere? I'll answer that real quick before I go. I would say Yanze. Yanze reminds me a little bit of myself. He's a little bit bigger at this point in his career than I was, but in terms of like somebody who we have right now, it's funny. I feel like him and Quay are kind of like me and Anthony. Anthony being more like Quay, a little bit like 6'2", little stockier. You know what I mean? Like heavy-handed type dude, but good athlete. Then you got Quay, who's longer. Kind of like a little bit of a misconception because initially, you kind of question, can he set the edge well? But same thing, kind of like for me. You know what I mean? Like people used to always say, because they just assume since I was more on like the lankier side, but you go turn on the tape, man. Like I had no problem setting the edge. I feel like Yanze is kind of similar to that. So if I had to pick one person, but the thing is, when Alabama's clicking, they can beat anybody in the country. Problem is, we haven't clicked in months. Facts. And I'll end on this. If we find a way to get our offense back clicking the way they were in the middle part of the season, I genuinely believe the way our defense is playing right now, I mean, we would definitely have a chance. But like Tia just said, we haven't seen that offense in over a month. They're on a milk carton. I don't know where they're at. They might be in damn Jamaica for all I know, but they're not in Tuscaloosa. But they need to return home. If we can find a way to get that offense back, I think we got a chance. But if not, if we continue down this trend, I'm just going to be honest with you guys. I don't see us making a deep run. And I'm not trying to pull a Damian Harris. I'm just being straight up. And I think you guys would agree with me. Without our offense clicking, there's not much we can really do, man. So on that note, I don't want to end on that. It's kind of negative. Not negative. It's just real. That being said, again, make sure you guys are here tomorrow. Same time, 11 to 1. We're loaded with interviews, and we'll knock all that out. And I'll bring up the defensive tape tomorrow. Watch a little bit of that. And maybe we'll bring up some Oklahoma stuff too. Or we got plenty of time. We'll do all that. But that said, big thanks to everybody here. Hit that like button if you haven't on the way out. Subscribe if you haven't. And we'll see you guys tomorrow right here on the